Live. Alright. We are back with another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction. First up, we have Blackheart as.
Carrick Marsk.
We have Cronus as.
Jackson Rodskala.
We have Hadden as.
Tilde.
We have Marcus as.
Corvus Sutterlass.
We have Sammy as.
Gifts and Graysteel?
We have Tobias as.
SVP Steel Shot.
And you have me, Yuli, as your friendly DM. Who would like to give the recap? No recappers, huh?
Mine might not be perfect, but I can do it.
Okay, give it a shot.
Okay. I can't remember if these are in proper order or not, but it started with Corvus talking with the Azoth more and then inviting him to return eventually. He also talked with Echo more regarding everything going on there, learning the language, and then that. Cass went to Gifton's for dinner with Michael/Sirius. I helped build the body for the mental, considered sabotaging, but ended up not. Carrick saw his wife. They talked about the eggs, the animals, and the fact that she'd like more help. Cass and Sirius had a small fallout regarding the chair for Scrim. Telde met Temde again, which realized he knew them. They got caught up on all of their history along with the demise of Hevday. Let's see. I talked with Valda, got a brief respite in food. Cass, Temde, Telde, Gifton, and in all capital letters, children went to Furmir. Carrick talked with Nathaniel regarding getting possible help at both his store and at his house. And then Gifton passed on the research info she had gotten from Miris the previous session and talked to Valda to be monitored for something that I can't actively remember.
God reincarnation.
That's the one. And that is all my notes.
Okay. Any fill-ins?
There was also a discussion between Dadriel and Cass that Dadriel had found where Cass's dad is, and about the chair in itself, where Cass had assumed it was a throne. It was actually just a chair. But her father is somewhere deep, deep underwater, but it is warded by anti-angel warding.
Mm-hmm.
And last I remember, Dadriel was going to pull together a team to go brute forcing their way through that ward.
Mm-hmm.
I like to bring out the fact that we found out Michael's afraid of Gideon's kids.
I like to think of the fact that Faramir is currently being attacked by a horde of really excited baby brownies, and I'm on a lovely date with my wife.
So Michael's
indeed.
nowhere near full mirror right now.
And Kara's having his first day home alone in 2 years.
Alright, Cronus, go ahead and take yourself a standard inspiration.
I don't
And
remember how to actually draw it without just immediately doing the thing.
mm-hmm.
Also,
Is it just drag it onto my thing?
If you hover over, there's a draw.
Ah,
Says
there's
for. Yep. I'm just double checking with.
Oh.
I'm perfectly hearable, right?
Yes.
Okay. In the middle of all that, I had an update on my sound stuff, and I wanted to make sure.
Okay. In that case,
Oh no.
what we're going to do is we're not going to exactly resume where we left off. What we're going to do is we're going to continue talking of our sped up downtime stuff. Because I believe we covered. You have that card? I mean, do you want to play it now or are you saving it? I suggest you save it for now.
I save it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I just looking at my cards because it's been a while. I was like, oh, I have this one.
Yes, because I believe people had covered some of the last minute things. that they were talking about. But I know there are some little bits and pieces that people wanted to be able to do. First off, in the immediacy, Tail Day.
Aye.
You and your newfound friend, Tem Day,
Mhm.
are going to spend a good part of 2 days helping search through the wreckage of the airship.
All right.
It's slow going, just because there is the risk of unexploded ordnance and such things. The men out here, while already dead, don't actually wish to die again. It is helped by the fact that there are ethereal kinds who can actually search through and find pockets to clear out and so on. I would like for you to go ahead and give me a we're actually going to call it. Give me both a investigation and an athletics check, please.
Okay, just check. Sure, I'm normal.
You can have advantage. I don't think you're going to need it, but you can have advantage because you're being assisted by Tim Day.
Okay.
Only a 45.
said-
That's oof.
Yeah. And you said the athletics was the other one?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm so glad I had advantage on that.
Yeah. So the manual work is the harder part of this for you.
Mm-hmm.
As you quickly sort of pick your way towards a likely location of a central engine ignition from an airship. Analyzing the pre-pattern, the way things are warped, you somehow magically figure out, hey, this is the way to dig. And eventually, you find something that looks familiar. It's heat warped, the metal is burnished, but this is definitely one of Hevday's arm pieces.
Hmm.
And it's slowly going through the rest of this area, the rest of this wreckage, that you find bits and pieces of Hevday. Some large, intact, others clearly chunks that have been blown off. But by the end of the second day, yeah, you have basically most of him that you think you'll be able to find.
Could you estimate how much, like,
There's a good 80% of him here.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So,
He was made of tough stuff.
yeah, I was expecting, like, here's a cube that's, like, a few feet by a few feet at most. But,
No.
Okay.
No. A lot of it's bent out of shape and so on, and again in pieces, but you have a lot of him.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Right.
I'm assuming it's a lot of the internals that are probably missing.
Yes, basically his exterior was incredibly tough, and that is what survived. But he was clearly ruptured open in the explosion, and most of the internal mechanism is just gone.
So some bits and pieces are gone in general from
Mhm.
just the way rupture happened, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rupture point, it got hollowed out really suddenly because all the wiring and weird little stuff they do for the inside of the warforged is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to find a head, or what appears to
You
be the
find about 60% of his essential faceplate. It's basically Phantom of the Opera mask, a little bit further extending, but that sort of amount of it.
I am going to
Oh,
Take
blew his
that.
head off. Got it.
and stash that in my bag of holding.
Yeah. Notably, you think most of the missing exterior is essentially from the gun arm that pointed directly at the reactor and the forward-facing components along with that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, from there, I'm going to ask Temday if they have any preference or idea of what they would like to do with these remains.
I'm not sure, it's up to me to decide. I was not around him much. Were you?
A few times. It was not the best relationship.
Do you know if there are any that he enjoyed the company of?
I will ask. There was a time that we were apart. They may have made connections. If not, I do have some ideas of what might have preferred.
Nothing ostentatious, I expect.
Indeed.
Perhaps we should forge him into a cannonball to fire upon these enemies.
Yes, I think he would like to be at least one or many weapons.
Let's have a sad chuckle. Well, whatever has become of him, shall we take him back?
Indeed. Let us make arrangements to ensure we can take him back.
You are able to get things arranged. There isn't. This isn't quite the bag of holding a ball. He was a decently bulky fellow. But yes, you are able to either just get him carted back, or you could even arrange for teleportation or so on.
I was thinking cart if possible. That's why I took that one piece.
If you are willing to wait around for a little bit, they will be taking a cart. They are salvaging useful things from here. And there are carts going back and forth, and you can get him onto one of those.
Okay.
Once you are back at the city, what would you like to do?
The Warforged were still there. The ones that were joining with the Goliaths.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm either going to ask the cart stay or make arrangements for.
And you can get arrangements
my
to
pile.
Yes, you can get him separated and brought in. Temday will, in fact, just help you move Hevday into the city. And you guys still have your lodgings there, even if a lot of you aren't staying at them. So you have places to put him.
Put pile of brother in room. Got it.
Put brother under bed.
You put him under the pillow and hope that a new one appears.
No, you just do as you did with my Martha's Ashes. You just stuff him in a cupboard and forget about him for a decade.
Come on. If we've got a body, we might as well put it to use and shape it into a person-like shape so they think we're sleeping. But after squaring at least a temporary storage space, I will go find the Warforged.
Okay.
All I can think of is this horrific image of Temday and Telday running around weekend burning freaking Hevday around freaking Faramir and just weirding everybody out.
I was trying to avoid this idea of both of us carrying like a large pile.
You don't carry him, you put him in a wheelchair.
Having like 2 wheelbarrows or something that we're running around with.
You're able to make your way to the Goliath encampment, although it does look like they are starting to pack up themselves. You actually do see a few Goliaths talking with a few Dwarforged and a few Fimirian guards, perhaps. Some of them might be off duty. It looks like they're just in casual clothing, but maybe familiar. It's a little hard to tell with these people, sadly.
Undead in casual clothing just seems weird to me.
But shockingly, the Goliaths seem to be getting along perfectly fine with these undead.
About Weekend at Bernie's.
As you approach, you get some acknowledgement from the Goliaths. One of the Warforged waves you over. And you can tell that they're looking curiously at Temday. Not being standard configuration, draw some eyes.
Greetings.
Hello, who's your friend?
I will look to Temday, kind of not smile because that isn't really an option. Just kind of gesture. Please
Temday,
feel free to introduce yourself style.
Temday bows and just goes, "Another predecessor. I am Temday." Oh. Well, greetings and welcome. We were just talking about the options available to us. Some of us plan to return with the Goliaths, some of us plan to remain here. The gaze turns to you, Temday. Very few are choosing to return to Barast.
That is unfortunate, but understandable.
We are hoping that our origin there and our assistance here may keep some bridges open.
That would be quite nice.
Yes. Still, what brings you here? I'm afraid the festivities have died down a little.
I wish to know if any of you had a chance to know my other brother.
There's a few exchange glances for Hevday. The large one.
Yes.
A few small discussions on our journey here when we were first mustering in Barast, but hard to say that we knew him well. One of the Goliaths sort of perks up and goes, "I feel I knew him very well just watching him. He was one of us, at heart."
Not sure the easiest way to describe this, but you know the way your eyes may squint a little, well, with a wry smile.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what kind of comes over the faceplate, and the eyes dim in some similar manner. Yes, I suppose that is the best way to know him.
Yes.
We were able to find some of his remains. In fact, quite a bit of them.
Even his body would not give out then.
No. We are considering our options.
What the Vermirians, a skeletal fellow that's just wearing a sort of little flat cap, casual jacket, and goes, "You think about bringing him back?"
I am not sure that is an option, especially in his current condition.
Heard lots of talk about what's happened to him, that he's still roaming around.
Yes, I will have to ask my friends who are more versed in those forms of magic.
Oh.
Quick, one of Gifton's children, find her for me. Sure, one of you is around here somewhere.
If you plan to bring him back, then, well, there's quite a few of us here that could help you with that. The Goliath shakes his head and just says, No. He earned his death. And if he is having fun with his afterlife, then you leave him to it. The body, well, a few tribes have different means. Some like to be carried by their descendants. I know one fellow carries the skull of his grandfather, that it lends him strength in battle. others the pyre. It is a good way.
I feel he would be most pleased to continue in battle. His form could be reshaped.
The Warforged seems to frown a bit and goes, "I'm not sure about the idea of that. It's gruesome."
Yes, I suppose it could be seen as rather morbid. And yet, I cannot shake the feeling it may be his preference.
The Warforged crosses their arms a little bit and goes, "Oh, there's no sense in burial. Returning him to the Earth does not seem like it would have much benefit for the Earth."
How many of us have died in this form? We have not quite decided the best way to deal with that.
We're still a bit young to have our own traditions, yes.
Buried others who were once in that form, but do not feel they believed themselves one of us.
Did he have much faith in anything?
Himself.
The Fomerian taps their chin a little, which, a little skeletal rattle. Which says, self-belief is good, but perhaps find out which faith he would most align with. See what they do. Or you all come from something, yes?
Yes.
What were the rights of your prior selves' faith?
I am not sure what his preference would be on that. You leave me much to ponder.
There's more so than when we arrived, Temde says under their breath.
Slight nod.
Oh, to your fallen comrade. Goliath at heart, I think, yes. But, whatever you do for him, I am sure he will appreciate it. Or he will not care, which is just as well.
Thank you. May we not cross swords in the future.
And if we do, I hope it is glorious.
Well, I am good at that.
And if we do, I will put you in the ground, Metal Man. It will be fine.
Don't worry, I can get up from that.
There is a respectful nod, and Temde looks at you and goes, "Brother, if you do not mind, I would like to talk to the ones here."
Of course.
I shall meet you back at your place later.
Yes, that will work. Turn to the Fomerian guard. Do we need to make any arrangements for his free movement?
The Fomerian guard sort of waves a hand a bit and goes, "At this point, I think things have relaxed a little bit. And if not, I'll make sure that things are handled."
That is appreciated. Do not feel any unneeded obligation.
Oh, I think that we are all a little indebted to you and yours, so it is no problem.
Nod, a slight bow to all of them, and I head back in. I'm going to send sending to... Yeah, it's gonna be Corvus.
Okay. All right. Corvus.
Yes.
You have been working on repairing Hadwin for the past couple of days.
Yeah.
You've got him back in like mostly built order. You're just making sure you're ironing out any kinks and so on that before reactivating him. You don't want anything to go wrong. Echo has been air quote assisting you. She's actually slowed down the work a bit, but it's with an inquisitive mind, which isn't so bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yes, you're currently tinkering with Hadwin when you get ascending.
Let's not play the word counting game. That should be under the limit.
It is.
Yep.
Tao Day. What? Yeah, I can. Where are you?
My spell stops.
I'll just talk this one out. I am currently in Faramir. I may be able to meet you wherever necessary. Please set a destination in your reply.
Sure. I'm at my house in the basement. Just come outside, I suppose. I'll meet you out front.
I love that. My house in the basement. Corvus has a house down in his basement.
Yeah, you know those little kiddie houses, little playhouses? He's actually got one in there.
Mm.
We're going
just
to
sitting in there with Echo outside. Nah, can't come in.
No guns allowed.
it seems like we're gonna put this on hold for a moment, Echo. Corvus. I'm Corvus. Tilde has a request to speak with the dead. So,
But his face is off.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
it's Nicolas Cage.
I mean,
You can't just leave the face off. Can I
it's
put
a
the
lot
face on?
to- If you want to put the face on,
I will put the face on.
Turn it upside down.
Gonna come back and that face is gonna look just like Echo, and it's gonna be real creepy from here on out.
Leave it to me. I've got this.
Okay.
She knows how faces go on. The eyes are at the bottom. Near the chin.
He picks up this fabricated raven skull's head that has the components of the face structure and the connections, and puts it on the table. Well, I'll leave you to it then.
She should
Okay.
be aware of how face going. Doesn't mean she's gonna do it that way.
Thingy's connected to this thing. Wiggly bit goes with the icky bit, and she's just going to start humming to herself as you head up.
You're gonna come back and she's gonna tell you.
If you have questions, refer to the book, please.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, as I reconstruct Hadwin, is it just going to be the same Hadwin stat wise?
Oh god, yes.
Okay. I was hoping for maybe a range component.
That's a shame.
But,
Yeah.
Start carrying rocks for him to throw.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Yeah, Tilda, you are able to make your way to back to Barasta.
Gifton's kitchen. Yep.
Gifton's kitchen. Okay. I was going to ask whether it's Gifton's kitchen or teleport circle, but kitchen it is.
My kitchen's just like Grand Central Station usually. It seems like.
Gifton, you've been having a lovely couple of days with your family. Once again, somebody's walking through your kitchen. It's kind of like almost ignorable at this point. It's just a casual little way of Even
going
even
to try and leave a gift of some kind, but I don't really have.
you want to leave a piece of
anything,
Hev Day?
so yes, I was going to say I'm going to leave a small piece of Hev Day.
Okay, cool. Right, do you want to? What do you want to leave? Finger bit?
Let me see.
A chest chunk?
So how many of the children can cast True Resurrection now? Naturally,
let's go with a smaller bit.
Mhm. Fitting, yes.
Yeah, maybe a finger if that's an option. That's always a solid thing to
You
leave.
can leave a fingertip.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool. Alright, so Gifton, Telday leaves you a strange thimble as he passes through. Even the kids aren't even that excited to see somebody coming through at this point, like this becoming old hat.
Yeah, they're actually getting a little bored of probably the people coming through. The radio is still the most fun thing.
It is. They are very, very fond
of the radio.
Of the radio man who comes from the radio.
The radio man.
They learn stories that I don't even understand. But they're experts now on Faramir.
But yep, Corvus, you're outside your house and you see Telday coming down the street.
Don't worry, I've only got like pockets full of Hev Day. It's fine.
It was really nice of Telday to give me this new thimble so I can use it when sewing, so I don't have to stab myself. It's really great. It's a bit big, but it's fine.
Wait a minute.
It fits really well over a finger, though.
Greetings, Corvus.
Hello. Who died?
Many people.
Who died that you need help on answering questions for?
Hev Day.
Have we tried speaking with the dead with them?
And you haven't really had much opportunity to try this on Warforged.
No, this is why I'm asking you.
This would be interesting.
Yes.
Do
you believe you can do this?
Do you believe in magic?
No, I don't.
And I hope that you do.
Oh. I will find someone who can then. All right.
Sorry, that was
turning and
that was the voices in my head. I mean, I believe I can manage the spell. It's just the matter of if the body responds. That's the thing, I believe. It's not so much the spirit; it's more of a body aspect. At least what the notes say. But I can try.
I see. So, the fact that his body is a pile of pieces would be a hindrance.
Do you have a head?
No. I have pieces of a head.
We can try with the pieces of
For instance, pull out the faceplate.
Okay.
This is the most intact part of the head.
How about you come down into my lab and we'll try something out.
Come down to the tiny house.
I do believe that has been a nightmare for several people within this town.
Yes, it has.
Perhaps I may dispel their fears by living.
Hopefully
if
so.
you would consent to that, Corvus.
Don't worry, you can touch whatever you like. Nothing is rigged to explode anymore, if that's your concern.
It was not.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
I will follow.
Okay.
Go down into the basement again.
You both come down into the basement to see Echo has like that face is definitely at an angle. Like she's tried to sew it on straight, but she's gotten halfway and it is clearly listing.
Greetings, Echo.
It's gonna turn out she's cockeyed.
Greetings, Telday.
You have done an excellent job.
Oh, thank you.
Do not let Corvus dissuade you.
It looks good if you hold your head like this, and she just tilts her head to the side.
I was going to say that Hadwin looks curious, inquisitive.
That's very kind. Have you come to help?
I wish to speak to my dead brother.
You wish to be reunited beyond the veil?
No, I merely wish for Corvus to facilitate a conversation,
Ah.
not requiring my death.
How about you put pieces of the head on the table, and we'll see what happens.
I will take what I have.
I'm sure you get to awaken his brother.
It's speak dead.
In due time.
She smiles.
Very, very
Wink.
well pointed out, Echo. Very good.
Okay, so you want to put pieces of his head on the table?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. There's faceplate, a few shards that might have come from the back of the head and so on. Not quite a full thing, but it's recognizable as Hevday.
I'm also curious if maybe, originally your bodies were assembled, and Hevday was built, and then Hevday's soul was occupying the body. Maybe the head has to be reassembled in some way or fashion beforehand. That's just my hypothesis on this. That may be something Saxon can do as well if I can't facilitate what you require.
Should I summon Shaxon as well?
If we all want to do this at one time, then sure.
I believe I can contact a few more people.
It is you have the link where you can literally talk to me for free.
Yeah.
Just another. And B, this is just the organization of people trying to talk to dead robots.
Yes, I will say at this point, despite Warforged mouth being artificial, and not exactly moving that much, you still know it's kind of a necessity with the spell normally that there be an intact mouth, and there is like a large chunk of this opening, like it's an open slit with no join at one side.
I was really hoping for Hevday with a speech impediment.
How do you actually? Well, this is going to be a personal thing to ask, but how do you actually vocalize picking up somewhat of the helmet and looking at it?
That is an intensely personal question.
Well, that's why I asked if the head's intact.
He vocalizes like this.
Correct.
I was kind of hoping that was Temday.
Nope, Timday's not here.
Why does Temday suddenly appear?
Let's wait for Saxon to get back. Maybe he can rig something up, and then I can maybe use the spell after that.
Pull out the link pearl. Shaxon, I do believe that we may need further assistance in an attempt to get my dead brother to be able to converse with us.
Shaxon, for the past couple of days, you've gone between like not enough sleep to absolutely crashing out. But it's been a sort of healthy day's work. Right now, you're leaving the heavy lifting of the Tiamat project to Echo. Not Echo. That would be special.
That'd be amazing.
To the mental and to Fowler, while you're actually poring over the details of the pylon network. Mental and Fowler both have actually some suspicions that they could use that as a power source to help with Project Tiamat, and so they're trying to see if there is a way to do that safely. And you have some personal vested interest by the fact that one of your party members really wants this dealt with. And you're making some decent headway in understanding this. You've already figured out how you could do a localized shutdown pretty easily. And you're starting to suspect that there would be a way to either reroute power or make this shutdown spread naturally. You just got to figure out a few of these runes and maybe you'll have it. But it's as you're looking over this work that you hear that message.
There will be the pause as he's writing of just Wait, did I just hear that correctly? Mental moment. Calmly put down the quill or pen or whatever he's writing with.
Mhm.
And just go, to be clear, you are trying to, I'm guessing, Hevday?
Yes, I found pieces of Hevday's head and am wishing to discuss with him his wishes for what I should do with the large amount of his remains that I have discovered.
I'm gonna roll an int check to see, just for general thing of you can put A to B to C on why he's being contacted something because he has not mentioned Corvus yet.
Mhm.
I think with that he can go A to B to C and go. And let me guess, because the head is in pieces, you need to facilitate a mouth or something. So
It does seem to be a potential issue, yes.
okay, where are you? I will be there as soon as I can be.
I am in Corvus's basement. I have not been murdered yet.
Of course you're in Corvus's basement. Why wouldn't you be in Corvus's basement? Okay, I
want
will be
this.
there forthwith, and he will put down the thing, and
Of course
he's just
you're
going to walk.
abatement.
Yeah, why wouldn't you be in Corvus's basement? He's involving Corvus in something that involves dead people. That's where you go to involve dead people, apparently.
I mean,
Well,
makes sense.
while you're having that conversation, Echo's looking up for you, Corvus, and she's just sort of silently going, "Isn't Gifton's family, wife and husband, Smiths? Do you think they'd like to put together a deceased head?"
Wait, does she say that?
Uh-huh.
That is
Ooh.
a generally good idea. I mean, I'm thinking more of the internal mechanisms of vocalization, but if maybe the head just needs to be put back together,
That is a
could
good
be-
idea.
that could be a thing.
I will contact them.
Out of characters, there's a point where I also point out you're both painfully aware that Shax is also a Smith.
Uh-huh.
Nope, I am immediately sending to Gifton.
Or care.
Gifton, I need both of your spouses to assist with the facilitation of speaking with my dead brother.
You forgot to put
And potentially any of your children who wish to get into smithing.
where we are, my basement.
Gifton, you are in the middle of playing Fairy Princess Rescue with your kids and Care. Razem is
Weirdly enough, Care is the princess.
Yep, Care is the princess.
And-
Razem is the evil dragon guarding him. And your kids are the sort of grouped together hero. Mummy is the steed.
I hate this game. It's okay. I used polymorph to turn into a squirrel. So This is great.
Yes.
And of course, Razem's like the big giant monster.
So you are
He's
going
so
to get
tall.
back till day.
Oh my god.
Does sending translate things?
It does not.
Okay. I've just suddenly thought about that.
I actually assumed it didn't, so that's what I went with. But yeah, that's what you're getting back. I am gonna unpolymorph, making the kids very unhappy.
No!
Blinking for a second.
Sorry, kids. Listen, Daddy and Mommy have to go somewhere really quick. Hey, Razem and Care. But I guess Telday desperately needs the both of you to help him with something.
Oh, is he injured? Oh, I'll get my stuff.
No, he said he needs a smith. Or no, he didn't say he needed a smith. No, he said he needed you to help. Yeah, he did say he needed a smith.
Yeah, he said Smith.
Yeah,
And any children who wish to get into smith.
He said he needed a smith and any children that are knowledgeable about smithing that could assist.
Knowledge about smith? No, you're not knowledgeable about smithing. You're going to stay here with Mummy. It feels very weird us going to see Tailday and not you, but okay.
Okay, I know it's weird, but he has his preferences, and I respect them.
Okay, well, I mean, it must be important, so but we'll be back soon. Okay.
All right, bye. fighting word is?
Kare's gonna hurry out first. Razem watches him go, still dressed up in the fairy princess outfit. Looks over to you, Gifton, just sort of shrugs lightly.
I'm fine with
it. She blows you a kiss as she follows Care out.
I spent a day making that outfit. The kids got to critique it. There's bows and ribbons and stars and hearts all over that thing. It looks like it's bedazzled.
Right, so they leave, and
Kare's a very confident father.
your kids
get to the middle of town and realize, wait, where are we going?
your kids start to demand flying lessons.
All right, I'm gonna start giving them
all of them.
All of them at once.
In the ones that can't fly.
Yes.
Yeah. Even the ones that can't fly.
Shucks is going to, in the meantime of that, walk into the other room and very plainly say, if either of you are interested, apparently Talday is trying to figure out if they can talk with the dead regarding Hezda.
It's another kitchen intruder.
Hi, Shaxan. Yeah.
No. It's, no, I mean, he's saying that to Valda and the mental.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you said from the
at least
room.
one of them might have a vague interest in how the hell is this going to work.
Yeah.
That is fully admittedly part of the reason Shax is going.
They both look up. Valda looking mildly curious. She sort of waves the pen at you and goes, "Take notes."
I'm intending to. It seems interesting diversion for a little bit to let my mind not think about this for a second.
There's just a little shake of the mental's head. They continue working.
This is not interesting to the mental at all.
That's fair. Josh will be back in a bit.
God has that thing of, I am curious, but this is more important. Okay, right, yes, then are you travelling via portal or kitchen? Teleport?
By kitchen, because I don't have portal.
Okay, right, yep. Shaxton comes through your kitchen, Gifton, which now that other mummy and daddy are gone, a little more interesting. A couple of the kids actually do wave at you, Shaxton, and just go, "Mum's teaching us to fly."
Yep, gotta go up the up. Got flap hard. Got train those wings, guys. Train those wings.
All right, got wings.
Flap. You gotta visualize the wings. They're not there, but they're there.
Wings on.
You just don't know how to get them out yet.
I farted.
As he goes out, he's going to very
we feed you. Oh God. Oh, my mouth is open.
There's too much focus and tensing.
Hi, Saxon. Where are you off to?
I'm helping with apparently them attempting to be able to talk with Hevde.
Oh, is that what they're up to? I got a really weird message from Telday saying he needed 2 smiths as an emergency, so yeah, I asked for Razem and Care.
Don't go. I don't think anyone remembers that I'm also capable of doing smith work, but whatever.
I remember.
I remember.
And Jax is going
but
to...
I'm also married to 2 smiths, so I'm sorry you're not my go-to.
That is fair.
Does it mean you can marry Saxon as well?
Maybe. Anyway, have a good time, Jackson.
Also, if the kids would like, I can leave this here for them to play with. And he's actually going to pull off the brooch that turns into the dragonfly familiar.
Ah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they'll play with that now.
There's some excitement.
Unfold and start just buzzing around.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You listen to Gifton for now. And you'll be...
What do you mean listen to Gifted for now? They're my children. You don't get to tell them to
he's
listen
going to point to the dragon like, I meant it.
Oh, okay. Thought I was
I don't expect
really
your children to listen
behavior
to you.
Here.
Jackson goes, I also don't expect your children to listen to you at any point. Have a nice day. Be out the door.
As Shaxton's leaving, your kids are gathering toy weapons up to fight the beast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How many hit points does the dragonfly have?
Not enough. All right, kids. No fireballs.
Let's see. Look at page 11. Actually, sorry, 1.
More than Hadwin has at this moment.
Okay. At the Corvus household, there is a distant knock from upstairs.
Oh, right. Yep. I'll be back.
Okay, you head on upstairs and open up the door, and there is Razem, who is wearing a sort of like a cloak that's got like sewn on dragon scaling. Like, it's very very simple, but it's effective look wise. and there is it might be racially insensitive to Carrick as well. So and there is care
That's
in
where the dragon skills came from.
a rather fetching princess outfit. The dress isn't too long; it's like maneuverable. There's lots of bows and ribbons.
You look very dancing.
You have sudden flashbacks to a horrifying moment in Colthwaite.
Yes. I think that next time we need a lady to disguise as, we're going with you instead of me.
Yeah, I can pull it off pretty well. Better than you could. So, smithing.
Yes, Hadwin's head is in pieces, and
I don't want to fix your monstrosity.
You mean Hevday?
Hevday's head. Hevday's head. Hevday. It's about speaking with the dead, and to speak with the dead, I need a working head. His is in pieces, so I'm just trying to cover my bases. Or Echo's idea.
Telltay's idea was a better idea to say.
Resem just lets out a breath and scratches his head and goes, "Not sure I'm comfortable with this."
Well, you can discuss that with Telltale because this is his request.
As Kez humming and ahhing, Shaxton's actually coming down the street as well.
And there's Saxon to help as well.
Why don't you have him do it? He's Smith.
He is a smith.
The other smiths are looking out for you, Shax.
Shaxton, he seems to want to have Hevday's head put together.
Rebuild time. Put as much together.
Telltale does. Echo thought it would be a good idea to reassemble the head. So it's a warforged.
Do you have a forge here?
I have a fireplace.
That's not a forge, Corvus.
I have a small one. I have a small one in one of the back parts of my house.
Why don't you go home, my squeamish darling, and I'll help Jackson with the forging.
It's a strange robot, man.
Are you sure? I mean, no, I can do it. I wouldn't want you to do it if I wouldn't. Go home.
Agreed.
This is fine. And
who's calling who what? Because Care is in the dress right now, so.
She's going to kiss his forehead and shush him off home, and he does look like ever so slightly insulted, but he's going to take the win and leave.
All right, have a good day prancing around.
Don't insult my husband's masculinity. That's toxic.
I don't prance, I strut.
All right, let's.
He's fair. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Let's continue the conversation with all parties in the basement. So, let's go.
Even though she encouraged Care that she take care of it, she does look vaguely hesitant to enter Corvus's home.
She's heard rumors.
We've all heard stories.
Resem, she looks at you briefly, Shaxton, for she makes a little gesture with her fingers like, ooh, and follows in.
Shax will let the mermaid just go, if you like, I'll go ahead of you, so if anything goes off.
She's probably going to be really tentative about touching anything, because she's heard the story of things explode in there.
No, I need you to secure the exit.
Fair point.
You know I can hear you.
Hmm?
Come on.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, with all this
what's with this hatchway?
A door going down. Regardless, with all this concern about my house and my basement, it seems like I'm going to have to spruce things up even more now.
You could make it a little brighter, cheerier, less murder basement-y.
The basement is white. It's made out of marble.
Yeah, that feels like a sacrificial altar waiting to happen.
It also would look more white if you'd light some goddamn candles.
I was half expecting you to say clean it.
That's why is it hidden? A concealed entrance really screams murder basement. Or ritual sacrifice basement. Basically the same thing.
It's very mad science.
Okay, I will build Hadwin out on the front porch of my home and do medical operations for everyone to see.
Most doctors don't conceal their operating
Most
basements.
doctors don't have a troll hand hitting itself on a glass jar.
Yes, she sees that would be part of the problem.
Yes. Also, I'm not objecting to doors.
It is a door. You move the bookcase to the side. And
Oh, wait. What was that part you've just said? Move the what?
It's a...
Doctor, we need urgent help. Okay, let me move my murder bookcase out of the way of the concealed doorway. She just gives you a sort of open hand, like,
You know what's funny is the concealed basement is a really Mirror's thing, so it really just tickles me.
It's not for that sort of medical work. There's two
it
types.
might not be, but it gives a very much air of it.
Can we
You're
proceed
just saying maybe you don't
on-
need to put it behind the bookcase all the time, Cole.
Because I like hidden rooms, okay?
Oh,
That's a very
that's
Mirror's
cute.
thing.
Can we go downstairs?
Yes, we can go
Please.
downstairs. Let's go. Do we close the bookcase on our way down, or?
He hits a button, the bookcase shuts.
With Corvus going ahead of the two of them, Jax is going to give Rizome a gentle elbow and chuckle.
She smiles at you.
Telde, your smiths have arrived. And,
Resident actually greets you in the entrance to Haran, gives you a nice hello.
I will respond in kind and mention I have not yet been murdered. It has been pretty nice.
she chuckles. Right.
Jackson just give it a knowing nod.
You get your forge out, Jackson, and I'll stoke it while you examine the head.
Yeah, Jackson just get his forge tools out, set up, and then he'll start looking over the head parts.
Right, is there anything in here that will explode if there's extreme heat?
nothing will explode anymore because nothing can explode anymore.
She looks actually deeply concerned at the anymore part.
Very did have explosive runes set up before.
It was a murder basement.
It was.
Are we sure
Then
I
he
do
almost
not
murdered
need to
himself.
summon anyone else to assist? Perhaps Carrick can make us nice sandwiches, or...
I have a kitchen. Do you all want something to eat?
I do not eat.
I could do with something to eat.
Alright, while you get that sorted out, I'll go fix some
I don't think I have eaten today.
refreshments. You
Okay,
look
okay.
tired.
Do you even know what day it is, Jackson?
He did literally just ask, I don't think I've eaten today. What day is it again?
Oh dear.
I'm gonna make you something hearty.
I would appreciate it.
Alright.
That gives you
yeah,
more
but-
time if you would like to make those modifications, Echo.
Wait, what?
Quiet.
Echo smiles at you, Corvus.
I'm gonna make refreshments.
I also want a sandwich.
Alright. Sandwich with extra. And I'll have some cider, I think. Warm cider?
That sounds lovely.
No, that will put him to sleep. Not warm cider for you. Do you have coffee?
I do have coffee.
Coffee for him.
Alright.
Proper response. The warm cider's after he finishes.
Chorus will go to his kitchen and prepare a meal.
Okay. While he's doing that, Jackson and Razem can basically start working on getting Hevde's head in a more head-like visage. At least getting the mouth fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
You bring the food down. There's some eating while they're working. And
You're supposed to be
Corvus
working on, like, outer
is
shells.
somewhat finicky about the crumbs going everywhere, but he holds his tongue.
Quick feed have day.
Crumbs everywhere
if
in
it
your
does
white
look like
murder
he's-
basement.
If it does look like he's starting to get bored, Jax will respond by just quickly waving his hand.
When you do that, Rezem more deliberately, sort of like messily eats the sandwich, finishes it
You're
off.
enabling her now.
It'll make it so she eats so she's not on edge.
And after a few hours of work, Hevday's head is, well, not complete, but there's a mouth, looks more face-like.
Yeah, I figure if she was doing outer shell work, she was doing like inner like build hinges
Mm-hmm.
where the plates were supposed to be, all that sort
Mm-hmm.
of fastenings, etc.
Okay. All right. There you have it.
Okay, so Hevday, Telday, asking questions to Hevday. There are 5 questions I believe you can ask.
Ah, that is convenient. I'm not sure I will need that many. I do not need to find his keys or anything.
Well, we have 5 questions to ask if this works.
All right, I am prepared.
All right. Goros will kind of position the head for a moment, roll his sleeve, clench his arm a bit, so activate the metal, and cast Speak with the Dead.
Jax is very calmly taking very clinical notes as he was taught in researching.
I'm just going to have to share because I was already looking up the spell ahead of time. I typed Speak with Dad in the search.
We're going for
it.
Are you winning?
Also, tell Dave, if this works, I have to ask the questions, so make sure they're ready.
All right. You asked you cast a spell.
Yep.
And that hinged mouth moves.
He will open his hand to Telday.
Would you like to be resurrected?
Would you like to be resurrected?
What should we do with your remains?
What should we do with your remains? Corvus is going to make a check to see if this is working. What would you like?
Insight?
Insight?
You think that for the first one, it actually didn't know the answer itself.
Oh.
When you ask that second question, there is a brief pause before that hinged door opens, and there's a slight light, sort of like the Warforged glow, but a little more unearthly. And you just hear the semblance of Hevday's voice going, "Glory!"
Would weapons suffice?
Corvus is going to open his hands up, like, what?
Just nod. Gesture.
Would weapons suffice?
If you could forge me into mighty enough of a weapon.
Okay.
Are there any you would like to receive the weapon?
Who would you want to receive the weapons?
Those that are able to best me.
Is this preferable to returning to life?
Is this preferable to returning to life?
Was my death glorious?
Nod.
Oh,
yes.
You're nodding. Yes, not yes. It doesn't. It's not.
And my death was good. This is preferable.
Wait, what?
Excellent. It is decided. I believe that was 5.
That was yes.
No
Thank
one's
you,
ever
brother.
been able to best Telday.
You are
There's
welcome.
no one worthy of his weapon.
Wait a
I mean,
minute.
Technically, we
Wait,
did.
Wait.
No.
He surrendered.
No.
How is?
I will wait for no man.
Saxon.
I mean, technically, they were already a spirit
Jackson.
animating god for us. Hello.
Forge me into a weapon.
This is
Can do that.
interesting.
Jackson. Let all witness my glory.
I can do that.
I believe his spirit should be the crucible.
My spirit walks.
Why would a spirit be a book?
Deliver me unto my spirit. I shall be a weapon for myself and those that best me.
Oh god.
That is
There's just
possible,
gonna be
yeah.
a weapon traveling around Texanreich.
Excellent. I shall arm my dead brother with his
With my
own
brother.
remains. Perfect.
Preserve my face.
That was my intention.
Put it on the weapon.
Rather macabre, but reasonable.
People will fear as they gaze upon my face.
Corvus is looking at his arm, looking at the metal banding that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that the magic comes from the metal. I don't know, maybe the metal has a glow or a resonance of magic.
There's nothing happening right now.
There's nothing happening right now.
Out of character, it is a spell that you cast and then you cease interacting with it on a magical level.
Mm-hmm.
No
Yeah.
And it's not a concentration, yeah.
Yeah, no. I was
It's out of
just
your
making
hands now.
sure. I was making sure that it wasn't backfeeding. That's essentially what it was.
How did I
10
die?
minutes you're sitting here talking with them.
You went down gloriously, destroying the largest enemy ship.
I destroyed a boat. Yes.
Airship.
Airship.
Airboat. I remember being on it. Yes.
I saved the angels.
I sang.
I
Make
found
me
our-
sing again.
I shall.
I bore of this. Goodbye, brother.
Goodbye. Thank you again.
The glow dims.
Thank all of you.
That was different.
That was
It
very,
was very different.
weird. I thought it was sweet, Echo says.
Thank you, Echo.
Oh, it was sweet. It was just very different on the aspect of how that spell is supposed to function.
Maybe the vessel that was previously Hefday still has a draw to it.
I think it's partially that, and
connection?
partially. I think it's partially that, and partially them being technically spirits themselves.
Well, I guess you can, if you want, Tote, have Day's head for later conversations if you want.
Intriguing.
I don't know if that's something you'll be interested in, but
It would not last long. It must be a part of the weapon. But I do not wish to create an undue burden for you, Shaxon.
A talking weapon.
Talking angry weapon.
talking
not-
angry weapon.
That's
That's nothing new in this party.
I am used to that.
I'm not sure it needs to talk. He just needs to sing, right?
It wants to sing, yes.
What do you think he thinks singing is?
War cries? I mean, well, he did
Screaming?
sing when he was going to the engine room.
That's the character, by the way.
War crimes?
War cry.
I think he wants war crimes.
Razem scratches his head and goes, turning him into a sonic weapon.
That could work. Also, make it a very effective weapon. There's many things that don't defend well against that.
Would it be an undue burden for the two of you to discuss this?
Oh, no, I'd be willing to honor his fallen wishes.
Can I make a suggestion, though? We do not include any of the magical anomalous meteor metal in this.
That goes without saying.
Well, I just want to make it clear for everybody.
Those are not the original part of them. They do not need to be in the design.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a screaming gun.
Did you ever find any remains of his cannon?
Not much. Like, there are parts that might be little bits of it, but like nothing that could be said to be a cannon.
A few pieces, but that appears to be the center point of the explosion.
Do we make him into a gun, or like she mimes hitting something?
Power fist? Gauntlet?
Something that releases a sonic blast on striking? I don't know.
I
It'd be
feel
easy to
that
make a
if we-
sword that has like cuts and stuff into it, so that when it
whistling
goes,
sword.
it whistles when it goes.
He wants his face to be part of it, though.
I think at that point, fist-based weaponry is the best bet on or cannon with.
A face hammer.
I'm going to lift up the head, walk over to Echo, put a hand on her shoulder, and thank her for her kind words. And wink as I say, and those excellent modifications to Hadwin.
Oh, thank you. I look quite glad with them myself.
Corvus turns in this chair and looks.
I will turn to Corvus. Thank you for not murdering me in your murder basement.
I'm going to ask this very frankly because I can't see.
Tell them we'll
color.
murder them later.
But is there color on Hadwin?
Who are you asking?
Going to start heading.
Corvus,
I'm going to murder you.
Corvus, you can give me an investigation check if you want.
I can't see color.
Glancing over, is he colorful now?
You're not sure. Right, well, I am going to go home to my family. Jackson, if you'd like to come over, we can talk about...
Thanks for coming. Sorry I didn't murder you in my basement.
There's always next time.
We're going to commission Gifton to make us t-shirts.
It might be a little bit before I can easily devote time to this, just because I'm also working on...
It's about...
After
mid-afternoon?
Well, if you would like, I can do some preliminary work.
I would appreciate it, because, like I said, it's the things are... I'm sure Gifton has made some mention of them. The things that are draining the Feywild out in X and figure out a way to...
Yes, you should focus on that. It is quite important.
I've started to make some good headway on it, if you would like to tell her that.
I will do indeed. Although, if you're heading back, you can see her yourself, yes.
I must pick up my dragonfly, what remains of it.
Back in the Brockgren household, that dragonfly is... It's not broken into pieces, but some of it's bent and dented quite heavily.
Yeah.
Okay, kids, it did this on its own.
Uh-huh.
It was badly made.
It came right at me.
Yeah.
I mean, that part would be...
Can I color its wings?
Yeah, go ahead. Get the paints out.
Oh no, get the paints out. That is a disastrous phrase to speak in this household.
Just like when you visit Uncle Corvus in the dead of night. Get the paints out.
As the party leaves through Corvus's incredibly colourful living room.
Why?
The trick is to use something that.
Like this?
The trick is to use paints that in grayscale appear the same color as the wall. He doesn't know that wall's all flowers.
Okay. Jackson, you make your way back to the Brockgren household. The Greysteel household, I should say. We'll get that right one day.
It's okay. In our hearts, it's always the Brockgren family. It's just we're being nice and letting it be Greysteel for care.
The Brocksteel.
Even people in town call it the Brockgren house, so it's just what it is.
It's the same thing of becoming Mr. Pond.
You're able to inform Gifton that you're making some headway. Rizem will start to get to work on designing a weapon for Hevday's spirit, which will likely be a melee weapon too, because she doesn't have much concept on the mechanisms of guns.
A whistling sword.
Entirely fair, honestly.
Whistling sword.
Why not make it like two things, sweetie? Do a sword with some of it, and then make a shield, because Hevday was kind of like a defender, right? He defended people. You could put the face on like the shield, or you could put it on the hammer. There's plenty of material there, though.
Yes, I think a screaming hammer is far more fitting. He is not a very swordy sort.
A big two-handed hammer, big massive one.
I should ask if his other fist is intact.
Oh yeah.
Face on one side.
Yeah,
Fist on one side, face on the other.
Yeah.
Just start scribbling more.
Grandfather's hammer.
Yeah.
I'm so glad neither the smiths or the artificer happened to notice the new thimble or anything.
Gifton may put 1 + 1 together at some point.
And it's one of Hevday's fingers.
Yes, let's see. We are going to continue on. Cassie,
Yes.
are you still wishing to seek out wood?
Wood.
What's that?
Are you
At the moment, that's kind of been pushed to the side because I need to speak to Dadriel first.
Okay.
Otherwise, I have a bad feeling.
In that case, yeah, you can go find Dadriel. He is making far more frequent back and forths now. Like Scrim's precision and his tribe is a little more secure, so he doesn't have to be care dog 24/7. And yeah, I'll say that you're able to find him at the Brockgren household. You're sort of out on your chores one day, just getting some groceries in town. When you actually see him paying attention to a goat in Gifton's garden, like he's fussing over it, giving it pets.
What has Cassie been doing with the baby deer this whole time?
Yeah, what about the baby deer, Cass?
Trying to take care of it the best she can, but she has no idea how. Yeah. I don't know, Agol. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Wait, what? What did you call the deer?
Waggle.
Agol. Like the star.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
AGOL.
Yeah.
And as you walk by, you can actually see Dadriel. He leans his head down so the little goat can ram it, and he's just pushing back very gently.
Every once in a while, a polymorph Gifton comes flailing in as a third goat, just attacks.
Yeah. You see polymorph Gifton in the background just bouncing off of things wildly. She used actual polymorph, so she's got goat intelligence.
Yeah. Every once in a while, rams into the back. Dadriel forgets she's there.
Got a new friend, Dadriel?
Oh, no. Oh, hello, Cass. No, old friend, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
How does the day greet you?
It agrees me. I still have yet to figure out how to raise this one, so I'm thinking of ideas.
I can give you some pointers, I suppose.
Well,
See
I
if
have
they
an
strap
idea
knives
on
to
how
their
to
Don't
make
you
sure.
own a library?
Yes, I do, but I haven't felt safe enough to leave the little one by themselves, and I really don't want to let loose a fawn in the library.
Oh, well, they're very good at being left by themselves, actually. You find it a nice, cozy, safe, hidden spot in your home, it'll stay right put.
Well, I was also thinking of an ultimately safe place to let them grow up, so it would require favors, but maybe. Anyways, about the entire rescue effort. I've been
Yes.
thinking about things. That entire area is warded off, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And assuming that they have the ability to ward off angels, including archangels, that means they might have the ability to take you directly on.
It's definitely likely.
Is there a safe place to get me near where they are?
How well do you handle the pressure of the depths?
If you had asked me about 10,000 years ago, I would say perfectly fine.
No?
Now, the part of me that could handle that is locked away, deep, deep, far away. So, no.
And deep dive gear.
Oh, I'm sure that you can find tangible spell work to help you survive. It's only 5 miles down.
And I doubt just a breathe water spell would do it.
I don't know which breathe water spell, but generally no.
Hmm. Wonder if there's some way we can get in touch with them.
Well, I did observe one of them, well, a few of them, I should say, trotting around. They can draw a picture.
I wonder if one can get through that barrier.
He tilts his head curiously. Hayes Angel not exactly coming to mind immediately for him.
Oh, the new hand angels.
Oh.
Because that was erected to keep, pardon the term, the old guard out. But as Hayes Angels are new, it might not be
It's certainly worth inquiring. I mean, they are.
rigged for it.
He looks vaguely uncomfortable as he says they are quite unlike us, so it could conceivably work.
Yeah. I could ask one, see if they could deliver a message, if they could even get in, or if they could even get down there, because they're also kind of living, I thought.
They are mortal
Different.
creatures, I suppose, in a way. I don't quite understand them myself.
But you have seen them down there?
The dwellers below, yes. Not a race that I'm familiar with.
I can't think of anyone that would be down that far. Maybe I can write a letter in something that a letter on wood.
Let's see. I mean,
It would survive.
yes.
Paper would get ruined. Where's the nearest landmass to this?
Oh, Sahar.
Okay. Well, that would be kind of neutral territory. Would you be willing to try and deliver a letter first?
You can try and leave a note where a patrol would find it.
I would appreciate that because I don't want to risk any of you because there's been a lot of death for everyone recently.
He actually looks sorrowful as he nods.
And also, I'd rather not have you guys kicking in their front door and there being excessively bad things waiting for you. Or even bad things.
How about you prepare your message, and I will prepare some notes for Care. Not Care, but he points towards Griffin's house. I mean, for Lydia, caring for Lydia.
Okay. All right. I thank you for that, Dadriel. I do appreciate it. And I will check the library. I don't think I have any books on this specific subject, but I can check. I'm still kind of bare bones.
Well, it's always good to stock books on Care.
I've been trying. I've been trying to get books on everything. It's just amazing how expensive they are. But anyways, I'll go get that. I'll get that message carved out for you. I appreciate this. And I do appreciate your continued efforts in this for me.
It's a pleasure, of course.
All right, Algal, let's go figure out how to properly raise you.
Yeah, basically, you have to pick the deer up. It doesn't really want to walk around. Yeah.
Cass has been hauling the little deer around like Dadriel was with the goat.
Cassie probably thought something was wrong with it for the longest time. Every time she sets it down, it just lays in a curled up way and just stays that way.
So he watches you go and then tries to find Goat Gifton.
Currently headbutting the front door.
Carries Gifton in by the horn.
Oh. Oh, gee.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go do that and go hunting for books.
Okay. All right. What do you want to inscribe your note on, Cassie?
It has to be a decently sturdy piece of wood to survive where it's going.
Why not do metal? It'd be shiny and it'll be visible underwater really well.
I don't do metal work.
Yeah, but
there are 3 smiths in this town.
There are 3 smiths in this town, and also if you did it on wood, wood might float up.
True.
You also have a dragon whose existence is acid. That can etch it properly.
Well, following Dadriel's advice, I'm going to take the baby deer into the house, set up like a comfy little area and set it down and just drape a blanket over it and let it rest.
Okay.
It will hide.
It stays put very obediently.
All right.
Knows me. This is the safe place.
Jackson's busy, so Kara or Sim, I think it was, back to the Rockden household.
Yeah, you were right there.
Go to Corvus's murder basement. It's where everybody's at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad I married so many Smiths. We would have been really hard pressed, guys.
Yeah. All right. You head back to the Brooklyn household, and strangely enough, Care is out at his workshop, actually smithing. And as he approaching, you can hear him mumbling, like working on face hammers. What on earth is she thinking? Bang, bang. Looks like he's doing horseshoes for somebody in town. Oh, Cassie.
Hi, Care.
This isn't your order, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But at some point, we're going to have to get that arranged. But anyways, I was wondering if I could get you to make me something interesting.
Everything kind of makes is interesting.
Oh, this is going to be a little outside of the norm.
Face hammer. Carrot's a face hammer.
I need a piece of metal, and she's just going to give a general shape, about yay thick, this big, and I'm going to need a note etched into it.
Okay.
Do you know any metals that are resistant to water?
As in corrosion?
Yeah, and deep.
Deep. How deep? Are you going swimming with it?
No, this involves trying to track down my dad. So apparently where he is like 5 miles underneath the water, and we can't get in there because there's an anti-angel ward around the entire place, but there are patrols that come out, and an idea has been floated rather than going through the wards and potentially kicking up a beehive, to leave a note and try to establish communication.
So
I need you to forge me a letter.
Well, that's not particularly hard. I don't know what exactly happens particularly deep down, but I imagine a solid piece of metal would suffice, no?
I would hope so. I don't know either.
And if it's just a note, it doesn't need to survive that long against corrosion. That's just long enough to be read, right?
Yes. But I've heard some metals don't last far less in water than others.
Well,
but that's just what I've heard. I don't know anything about metal. I know trees and wood.
I either have scary space metal that I don't think we want to be touching.
Nope.
I have iron, or I have steel. I have some copper and bronze, but still might be your best bet, even with corrosion.
Steel would probably be the best bet.
Oh, if you want to give me what you want written down, then I'll inscribe it on some steel.
Okay. And Cass is going to write out what she would like him to inscribe on the steel.
Okay.
Which is, my name is Caspius P. Steelshot. I am of the understanding that my father, Hans Steelstad, is within your domain. I would like to discuss upon the neutral shores of Zaha, near, I can't remember the city that we were at.
You may also put it in writing.
Yeah. I just can't remember that city's name, but yeah, I will write it down. So that's going to take me a few minutes.
You mean Sal Majid?
Is that the city where we're near?
That's where we met with Trill Fade Light and all them. And Donoran, yeah.
Okay, how do you spell that again?
SALMAJID.
SALMA.
I typed it in Roll20.
Oh, my Roll20 isn't scrolling down. Okay.
Also, as a fellow player who cares about you and wants you to succeed, have you considered asking if you can get something to affix, like a sending stone or something, to maybe this, and then if you could get a pet set of sending stones for yourself, you could have them use that to try and contact you. Maybe it might facilitate things.
That's true. All right, that's something to keep in mind. So
that's just a thought, because I mean it's going to have to be crafted anyway, so you've got time. So if you could get that set up, you could have a sending stone with it.
And I know who makes sending stones, but
You
Okay.
could go buy one. You could get one made. There's lots of options.
I'm going to try and get them made because I will leave the note of what I want said with care. And then I'm going to go hunt down Jackson.
Okay. You want to head to the forum, yeah?
If that's where he is, yes.
I think that's probably likely at this point. Okay. Okay, we'll nod and be like, well, this will be easy enough. I can get this done for you in a day if you want.
Okay, I will be back.
I assume you don't want it to care if it looks pretty, as long as it's legible.
Legibility is the most important thing.
Quick job then. It gives you a thumbs up.
Thank you. Let me know how much it costs, and I'll be back.
He just waves his hand at you as you head into the house to walk through Kirsten's kitchen.
I'm keeping an eye out for kids.
Kids are everywhere, as are pseudo dragons. You get some like higher ante catties. Some of them just ignore you because you're boring now. You know you're familiar.
A couple of them shoot homemade paintballs at you. We've learned how to do things.
Dadriel waves at you, who's now actually sitting with Gifton, having some tea.
Waving back, moving through, waving at the kids, getting to the door, checking myself.
Yep, you're free of kids.
Okay, continuing on through.
They're right now assaulting Unky Dadriel because that's the other favorite toy.
As Cass goes through the door and the kids are climbing off Dadriel, he looks at you, Gifton, and goes, "So, the getting Oberon, Tanya, to Morris."
Yeah.
No point in not checking now, I suppose.
Checking?
Whether they're ready to do it.
It's not safe though. It might hurt them.
Listen, if he is willing to brave that, let's say you'd let him.
You think just try and take Morris across?
Or you take Oberon across.
But we'd be trapping him over there if we can't get it fixed.
Not necessarily. I mean, you're aware that can't really dwell long outside of the borders of the Feywild, yes? But there's no reason he couldn't make a quick jaunt. I mean, a quick one. And he motions at himself.
Just, I'm worried that after that conversation with Daniel, I just kind of gave up on the idea,
Well, I'm not quite ready to give up on my brother doing good deeds.
Oh, it's not about him doing good deeds. It's just I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to risk tearing them apart, like Daniel said. So I didn't want to do it.
He's going to lean in a bit and goes, This of course bears no need for me to say that. Don't mention this to others, yes? Taniel and Michael, always a very good couple. But their relationship, they were often blind to a lot of things with each other. Taniel, she always assumed Michael was weaker than he was. And Gabriel. Gabriel.
You heard
Yeah.
say Michael the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. No, Gabriel. Always assumed Gabriel was more delicate than he was, than he is.
He isn't. He's very, very strong.
And, well, he was always far too eager to please her. I loved them both dearly, but they weren't always the best for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that has changed much.
He's kind of the king of the Fae, though. If he's away, that could mess a lot of things up.
Or, in a time where he is potentially being viewed as a little weak, King of the Fae braving the mortal realm to go save one of his lost subjects.
Maybe. Oh, I don't think Firimir's going to be ready for that. That's a very, very different Fae Lord than what they're used to.
Yes. Yes.
So we don't warn them, right? We just do it.
He remains silent, which is the most you get from him to acquiescing to something that's technically against the rules.
I mean, we're technically not going to go through Faramir at all. So, at least I'm not. Probably.
As far as I'm concerned, directly to their park, which, as far as I'm aware, the Fae consider those border realms theirs.
Yep. So no harm, no foul, and you can take Oberon back if he needs to, right?
Exactly. And will remain there as long as he needs.
And I confide something in you.
Anything.
I hope you won't judge me too harshly. I was considering asking Oberon for a favor.
Oh?
Yeah.
What favor?
I have a very selfish feeling in my heart right now. I'm gonna glance off at the room where the kids are. Everything's gonna go different. And after that last fight, I really treasure time like this, you know? And I treasure getting to be around you and getting to talk about all the things that you can teach me and all the things that Raziel, and getting to be with my wife and my husband and my kids. And I don't want that to slip away, but I know I have fleeting amounts of time. And I know Morris can slow time, like he speeds up you living it, but he slows it's different from the rest of the world because the Fae doesn't work in the same way.
It's actually quite not unlike how the heavens work.
I was thinking about asking Oberon to do it for us at Bingus's place. Steal like 20 years, you know? Just get to raise the kids.
Are you scared that that opportunity won't arrive?
I've always been one of those people that likes to make sure that I get the most out of the time that I have. Because you never know what's going to happen. Something wonderful might happen, something bad might too. But just because something bad happens isn't the end of everything, you know? Even if it's the end of everything. But
yes.
I can't help but want to steal that amount of time for me, you know?
I believe that if you asked him, he would grant that and more for you. But he actually reaches out and just sort of like gently takes your hands, Gifton.
Uh-huh.
You want to have 20 years with your children kept away from the rest of the world.
It is kind of a wonderful idea, but it's also they'd miss so much, here, wouldn't they? Growing up so quick.
But, well, there are so many stories of the Fae taking people and them never returning. Can't help but imagine that not all of it is unwilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I could see falling into that trap, and I know I have a lot to do. Oh, duty.
It's heavy.
It does. I just thought me and Carrick, his family, you know, we both worry about our kids growing up without us there. But maybe, like I said, I feel a bit selfish because I think I'm putting too much on my own involvement. You know, they'd be okay.
I know that we are supposed to represent virtue and all of that, but well, something you realise living so long is selfishness is quite a natural thing to feel. In fact, it can be a good compulsion to keep ourselves sane, healthy.
Mm-hmm. And besides, I believe in grandson, and it will be very awkward for Grinson if he's that much older than his eventual wife. Or husband. I don't know which one of them it is. We should go. Why don't we go get Oberon?
Let's go get Oberon. Okay. How do you want to go about it, Gifton? Which way are you going?
I planar travel.
You just straight up planar traveling?
Yeah, I have it as a boon now.
Mm-hmm.
I connected to the Fae, so
yeah. Are you taking Dingus with?
Yeah, I'm sure Dingus is coming with. Actually, Dingus should probably just open up the portal. It'll be easier all three of us to go together.
Dingus is like, Dingus is chirping at Dazzle a lot. Like Dazzle's perched up on a bookshelf. Dingus is like on one of the shelves beneath it, beeping up at her.
What is the matter, Dingus? What's going on with Dazzle?
Dazzle, ignore.
Oh. Well, the big strong dragon can come with me instead, okay?
He beeps at Dazzle a couple more times before he sort of leaps up, flaps over into your shoulder.
We'll take him outside and we'll open up the portals out.
Notably, Dazzle's head does perk up and follows Dingus as he's leaving. She's playing hard to get.
Yep. Now that he's not paying attention, he's interesting again.
Okay.
Well,
Dazzle, never
teleport to or we'll take us wherever Dingus decides to dump us in the Fae.
Okay. Oh, obviously his bridge.
Yep.
Yeah. You come out of his portal onto the bridge itself. Dingus puffs his chest out immediately.
Lovely, great job. Scritchy.
Okay. And you can begin your journey to Oberon's castle, if you so please.
Yep, we will start walking through Oberon's castle.
The pathways to the Feywild, they obey you quite readily. Dadriel looks a little on edge, what with, his relationship with them. He's clearly a little tense. This is uncomfortable, but he's here. And in the span of only what feels like a few minutes, you're sort of set out ready to enjoy the sights of the Feywild, enjoy the little walk, but you're there almost immediately. Really bypassing a lot of the pathway between. As you approach...
It's like the Feywild wants me there, or somebody who's a Feylord does.
As you approach, you see a couple of Zeta guards outside, immediately stand to attention, step aside, and the doorway to his castle opens for you.
And we'll bow and greet the Satyr guards politely, and then I'll head on in.
Edra waves at them awkwardly, following you in. You enter the little entry foyer here, and there only appears to be a single door, which then opens up immediately into Oberon's courtroom, his little throne room. And you see Oberon's actually there with another satyr who is in a sort of semblance of formal courtly attire. It's not quite right, as if it's inspired by human fashion, but not quite understood. But he's clearly made up to be some sort of page or butler, or you're not sure.
It's really confused because of the confusion of the uniform itself.
Yes.
So it's hard to tell what their job is.
Yep.
I will do a deep curtsy and keep my head lowered politely while I wait.
And Oberon looks over before just patting the satyr on the head, not on the head, the shoulder. He's that demeaning. Pats him on the shoulder, and the satyr picks up a sort of open leaf-made book that it had on the sort of side desk here, and just leaves the room. And Oberon goes, "Please lift your head. You have no need to bow to me."
I raise my head up and smile. Good day to you, great lord.
Good day to the both of you. What brings you?
The plight of Lord Morris. I was hoping to arrange for more visitation for him.
Was my trying to arrange for some of my court to see him not enough?
That was quite well, but I was wondering if you might wish to go as well, my lord.
He tilts his head a little bit, looking between you and Dadriel.
We could make the trip quite quick, and if you wish to return back again, we can do that as well.
Once in the mortal realm, it is not even the glimmer of a second to take you there, Dadriel says. You know that being outside of the Fey realm is not good for my existence. You would hardly be outside of the Fey realm. Or travel, and hardly move through the intervening space. You would be within the border realms there before you even knew you'd left. Anya would not approve.
She might not. But you are your own man.
As King Oberon has no master, no? Are you trying to appeal to my sense of ego?
No, I'm trying to state a fact. You're the most powerful being I know. And I know gods. I fear you more than them.
Hear me?
I fear and love you. I can do both.
But my visiting Morris remove some of that fear.
It would make me fear for you, because I do think it is risky. But it would be a truly kind thing to Morris. And it's something only you could do.
He seems to glance aside, just staring at the wall, drumming his fingers on the little countertop that he was working at with the satyr. I suppose I need not the permission of Titania. What is that saying? Better to ask forgiveness.
It's completely not something that we might already be doing as well, I'd say with a smirk. She can't be mad at us for doing something she didn't tell us not to do. Especially when it's to do a kind favor to somebody else. Right?
And I expect you to repeat those words to her on our return.
I will. It's actually all my fault anyway. You'll have to punish me, probably.
Well, it has been many an age since I stood in that section of the Feywild, so it would be good to see it again. Right. In that case, you may act as my passage. Dadriel, wasn't it? It was?
It is.
Very well then. He stands up a little straighter, clasping his hands in front of him, and just very casually walking over. And as he approaches, it's just a reminder of how ungodly tall this man is.
Mhm.
Coming up beside Dadriel and even the Goliath, angelic body. Not short next to him, but rivaled.
Everyone's so damn tall.
I could grant you some height if you pleased. No, I must say I'm fond of you at this height.
As long as you're fond of it. And I wanna, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna hold both of your hands because I get a little nervous.
Yes. You take this hand. You take this hand. And Dadriel offers his hands out, which Oberon doesn't look like he's disgusted by the offer. Just looks like he's unused to this kind of contact with somebody that he isn't enraptured with.
Nice touching me.
He does.
Wait, there's someone else who doesn't like to be touched?
Oh, he likes to be touched just by those that he has interest in.
Oh, you have very strong hands, sir.
Indeed. He smiles down at you, Gifton, and it's in that way that he's clearly uncomfortable, but he's refusing to let it show. He does not know how to handle the situation. You think he is distinctly put off by putting his travel and technically his fate in the hands of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Dadriel takes your hand in his and pauses and looks at Dingus and sort of motions Dingus to climb up onto his shoulder.
Yeah.
Dingus is
It's always awkward having somebody else take you someplace. I say offhandedly, just gotta shake my head.
quite, but I shall bear this with dignity, befitting my position. Very good, Dadriel says. And there's a little eye roll from Dadriel, as if a little of his brother is showing through here. This feels a bit familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And Dadriel squints a little bit and goes, I don't like flying out of here. Might be a bit bumpier than usual.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
And there is a sickening lurch
Oh!
as you land within the park in Foromir. Right. In the park in Foromir, heading ourselves back to Beacon. Carrick,
Yes.
you've spent a nice few days just relaxing with your family. Talia, visiting the eggs, seeing how they're getting on, trying to train Phoenix, and far more successfully trying to train guard drakes.
One of these things is trainable, the other one makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, although I should say maybe more successfully, because I would actually like animal handling checks from you. One for each guard drake.
Okay. Come on,
It was on that day that Carrick couldn't remember how many guard drakes he had.
No, I've got two. I know how many. I'm waiting for my character sheet to actually load.
No, but I like the idea of teasing you that you don't know how many you've had. 10? 20? Maybe? Oh, wait, that's children.
Okay.
And actually, I'm gonna double. And
Also, this is hella awkward with freaking Gabriel because the last time I saw him, he was bawling his eyes out to freaking Taniel, and I haven't seen him since.
I'm bringing one thing up, just because I have it. I do have the unfail use point to re-roll if that comes
unfair.
into effect.
Under 13, yes, it can come into effect.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a sorcery point then to re-roll that. So this is replacing the 13. Here's the other 13. No, wow, never mind.
Right. Okay. So one of the guard drakes, you get it decently obedient. It's the sort of thing where, like, you know, you tell it to do something and you might have to, like, do it, say it a couple of times.
A little bit.
Yeah. And it kind of expects a reward after the fact, like, consistently. The other one, though, soon, actually, you have it obeying on quite a snappy command. It seems to they're intelligent creatures. It understands you very readily, and seems to understand your directions, even able to interpret a bit.
Okay.
Probably sat there watching the other one get trained and just absorbed.
I like to imagine the one that I got the better roll is the one that's going, I can do better than that, and I'll get better rewards.
Over a few, and actually, I'm going to ask you, give me another animal handling check for the Phoenix, just as a group. DC for this one would be very high. Yeah, no. Like when you have food, they'll sort of like spat out a bit and eventually land on what you want them to do.
I'm not even gonna attempt to do the roll on that. I'm just gonna take the fact I got 23 was actually pretty good.
So. They basically do the cycle of like run about a bit. Okay, sitting, is that what it is? No, standing. Going over here, putting my paw on this. Is that what you want?
Okay, back to running.
Yeah,
of course.
Yes. So yeah, one of the guard drakes. It's sort of trainable. The other one, you have it like it understands commands. It understands what not to do, what to do, and you essentially have a guard drake that will obey orders.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my list of names so I can mark them. I trained successfully a guard drake. We're never going to make another roll on animal handling after this now.
It's after a morning spent training. You've actually had a couple of interviews over the past couple of days as well. Basically, you've had people sent your way, interesting staff positions.
Any are they
okay? So you have a there is a dwarven woman.
Okay.
Her name is Mila. She is basically a general handy house lady. She can cook, she can clean. She doesn't have any particular speciality, like she isn't butler trained, all of that sort of thing, you know. Basically, she's just looking for a bit of spare work, and she's raised kids. She's taking care of the household for her husband.
Okay.
Yeah,
she doesn't do windows.
She doesn't do windows. She knows a little bit of like a handiwork, but not a broad amount. So she could probably fix up a couple of bits and bobs, but like mending pans and such would be no.
Okay.
There is a warforged that comes to apply. That just calls himself Ted.
Does he have a talk every week?
No, he does not, unfortunately.
We're gonna have to teach him to do that. No.
Which does not know how to cook. But he does say he enjoys basically cleaning and such. It relaxes him. He is handy around the house. He knows a good bit of just general handiwork. He could, repair things. Little bit of adapted gardening.
Okay.
But he seems very, very, very laid back.
Okay.
Your third applicant.
Okay.
Is a human male. It's pretty young. You say about 16 or so. That doesn't have any real cooking experience. Has cleaned up a bit when his mum tells him to. He knows a little bit of sewing, and he motions to the sort of patchwork fix up on his trousers, which is just leather patches over the knees and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And is just looking to earn a little bit more coin for his mum.
Okay.
Those are your 3 applicants so far.
Okay. Part of me wants to.
Notably, you don't
of those.
think the last one was actually sent there by your Warforged companion that you went to for help.
No, it sounds more like
He heard what was going on.
something,
Yeah.
Wonder if he would he work at the tavern, helping move things and such.
Yeah, he'd be willing to.
I'll actually have him work at the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
Get
good to have
trained up a bit.
hands, and he can get some training on how to do stuff. And being young, he's still able to
Move heavy casks and
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. The other 2 actually, I'm gonna ask the GM just because.
Mhm.
Does it seem between the 2 of them that would be a pretty good cover for?
You'd have a lot of
most stuff
overlap.
around the
Yeah.
house? And because she doesn't really do much in the way of handiwork, but he seems to be better at that, Ted. I think hiring the 2 of them for the house would help Talia quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, as I'm writing in my notebook, hire all 3. Actually, I tell them I tell the 2, the first 2, I will get back with them. Because I'm guessing there's going to be more. The young man I will actually hire for the tavern.
Okay.
After the interview.
You're going to have one of your tavern workers actually be in charge of him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. You can certainly do that.
What was his name, by the way?
Oh, right. That's Roderick.
Oh, no. We have Roddy.
Rodrigo!
Yeah. Likes to be called Rod.
Okay. Hire Rod.
Last name Stewart.
No. 60-year-old Rod Stewart. That's a scary thought.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've done a few interviews, and it's after a little training session that you actually get a message in your mind.
Okay.
A familiar voice of Grandma Lynn coming through,
Trouble.
and it's going, Eric, I was wondering if you'd be willing to receive a visitor.
I'm always willing to receive a visitor. I am guessing it's you.
Of course it's me. I'll be there momentarily.
Okay.
Yes?
You never know. She could have found someone to send to me for something. I don't know. Here, this is your grandma quest.
Carrick actually doing squinty eyes.
No, he wasn't doing squinty eyes. I just could see grandma here. I randomly found someone who can help you.
Well, she could have found your dad, for all we know. So.
Yeah, I mean, Dad. There's who knows what else. I mean, Grandma's a lot younger now, so I'm guessing she's not as
really funny you said that.
homebound.
So she
Oh God.
You hear a thump outside of a large mass arriving via teleportation, and then there's just a gentle knocking at the door.
I'm being told Grandma's fat. I'm gonna go open the door.
I dare you to say that to her face.
Immediately, Grandma Lynn is there. Notably, her humanoid form, still grey in hair and such, but there's a little more colour. And it's a little hard.
Hair or general?
In the hair. Okay. There's maybe a few lines missing from the face, you know. It's like, it's very hard to pinpoint what makes her look just a bit younger, but she does.
Oh God, tell they know. don't give Grandma ideas to dye her hair purple.
Immediately when you open up the door, she pulls you in for a hug.
I'll give her a hug back.
There's Phoenix like screeching at her feet. Basically going, who is this? Who is this? Who is this?
I'm sorry.
She looks down at them with bemused disdain.
They don't seem to be taking to the training as much as the Drakes are.
They wouldn't. They're wild animals.
Yes, I mean, they're at least trying to get treats. I mean...
No, they're cute.
They are. As long as Gifton's children aren't getting them riled up. How many times has Carrick turned Gifton's children?
I don't let my kids near your house. You've got Phoenix. They will kill my children.
So she actually takes hold of your hand and leads you like she's leading a child over to your sofa. Where she sits down, pulls you down beside her.
Now, I've been seeing someone, and you need to know about your new grandpa.
So, Carrick.
Yes.
First of all, I have brought some things with me. She actually reaches into her sleeve, pulls out a pouch, which she then opens up, bag of holding, starts setting out a few books, some what looks like to be random trinkets, which you'll probably guess are magical items. And these are for the children.
Always thankful.
And this one is for the building. It will help proof it against their breath.
That is also very, very well thought. We moved them down to the stone part for at least a little extra protection. But I was getting worried about the rest of the house.
And this, and she just pulls out what looks like to be a letter, is from your father.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm guessing that means he is wow. Still alive then.
She nods.
When everything first started, I thought to go try to find him, and I had gotten a little information, but we kind of got pulled a different direction, so...
It appears that you're now famous enough that he's interested.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that I'm that famous.
I think you deserve all of the fame. But him... Oh.
Have you read it already?
No, it's for you. I would not break the seal.
Thank you. Accept the letter. Is it just sealed, or is it actually like whack the whole?
It's wax sealed, but in a very common way. Like it is just melted wax, no emblem or anything.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of, the whole peer through with light just to make sure it's just a letter in there and not something that's gonna try to kill me.
Give me an investigation check.
Great.
When did Carrick get all paranoid?
I still don't actually know why Mom isn't with Dad, so there's some concerns
Mhm.
here.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Carrick never questioned about it, so.
26. Yeah, you think this is untrapped?
Okay.
Trap checking a letter.
I'm gonna open it up. How have you been, Grandma?
I've been wetter than I have been. Thank you very much.
I'm glad I could assist.
I'm actually getting excited.
Oh no.
Oh, they're
Thanks,
dating life.
Corvus. Thanks, Corvus. Trying to avoid thinking that route.
So it'll be nice to see little Drakes in the family again.
Will be. I am very much looking forward to them. Out of characters, Talia actually in the house or is she out? I should
No,
mention.
Talia is actually at the tavern. She relished the opportunity to actually go do that rather than, live in the Chaos household for a bit.
Yes. Okay. I figured I'd double check that now before I keep going. So I'm gonna open the letter and take a quick look. Actually, to the other players, because I know I haven't. Has anyone keeping the calendar up?
We have just recently time jumped. We hadn't before that, so I'm not sure how many days we have gone. Because we were previously acting on the day the dragon died.
At this point, you can mark yourselves about 4 days after the dragon died, but I'm likely just going to set you at a point on the calendar after the downtime's all complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're still kind of Ursentil, no Neil
Yes.
timer. That's why I wanted to check so I could say.
We are on Ursentil. It is approximately the 26th.
Okay. About 5 more months or so, I think we figured.
It'll be gotten in the wink of an eye.
Yes, especially if with how time seems to fly around us all.
As you start opening up the letter, she actually goes, "It's curious. The letter was delivered to the base of the mountain. The man who knew to beckon my name."
I wonder if he was the one that was directing people kind of towards you, and Carrick's pull that map out. Remember the map I found when we first set out?
It did cross my mind.
What are you concerned about?
Concerned
Something he
about
might
the
do?
men that abandoned you. Yes.
Well, I mean, more that he might do something towards you is what I was.
Mildly suspicious, yes. Concerned, no.
Okay. Yeah. Carrick's gonna kind of
Read
start
it over.
reading over.
Okay.
Yep.
The letter says, "My dearest boy, it pains my heart to know how long we have been apart. If I could have stayed in your life, I would have. I understand if you hold it against me. However, I hope dearly that you will give me the opportunity to make amends. Perhaps at least talk to me. If you can find it in your heart to do so, I will be waiting in Winton." And there is a address written. Looks like to be a tavern house.
Is it, since we spent a good amount of time in Winden, is it a place I obviously probably haven't spent much time in, but do I
You
roughly
know
the
the street and you've heard of the building, but you've not been there.
Okay. It looks like he would like me to meet him up in Winden. It's probably worth some point at least meeting him. I was young enough, I really don't remember him.
I know I should be more sympathetic to my blood, but
I understand. I hold nothing against you for it.
And you know that there's nothing wrong. Right? It's not worth your time.
Yes, but sometimes you gotta check what hand life's dealt you and see. Never know what he might have or know. This might be an odd question, Grandma. Have you ever been to... Crap. The player can't remember how to pronounce it.
Ines Aflak?
Yes, Yennis Aflak.
Pretty gives you a curious look, and because once or twice, only on short jaunts.
Do you have any information that would be helpful for those traveling there? It sounds like it might be our next stop.
Yes. Have some people that are very good at survival in the wilderness. Have good hunters. Have good alchemists that can combat poisons.
Well,
Be prepared for a land of savagery.
But
all the Driders are quite kind.
Out of character.
Mm-hmm.
We met Driders back in time, if I remember correctly. Have we met Driders
in modern time? No.
Okay. I didn't think we did, but we all know I sometimes have a horrible memory.
Notably, I don't think the term Drider was used back then.
Yeah. That was why I was out of character. I was just trying to remember if it was something. What is a Drider?
A kind of half elf, half spider. Dark skinned, the lower body, that of an arachnid.
The elves of Hayes Cut.
Yes, much like them.
Did you was there much in the way of cities probably not cities, but settlements around there that
villages?
You were there?
Yes. Well, the Driders tend to have 3 villages. Everything is very much blended into the wilderness, though. No real clearing.
Okay. Well, that will be of help. I think between the whole group of us, we can cover quite a bit of what you have mentioned.
If you plan to go there, the Driders are kind. Be wary of the wood elves. They have a taste for flesh of others.
We use the term for the different types of elves. Same here, right?
Yeah.
We know what a wood elf is because that was RG.
Yeah.
Okay. Quite a bit different than the ones here, it sounds like.
Everyone here is Barassian in the end.
Less.
They are
more
of Iden's ilk through and through.
He does seem to have quite a wild way, but he does also have a gentle side, it seemed from...
The Barassian vision of him is very sanitized. He has the gentleness of a mother caring for its cub. Also has the savagery of a mother defending one.
His cub. Yes. Well, hopefully, where we're going there won't take us too long.
I hope we're there forever. It's gonna be great. I love it.
Gifton's immediately eaten by a wood elf.
I was sweet.
That's where the word brownie comes from for desserts.
If you'd like, I can see if I can dig out a few of my old hidden items. I have a stick that is said to be blessed by him to show a safe path through the wilderness.
If you didn't mind, I'd of course return it to you when we return.
No promises. I have to find it, which can be a little bit of a challenge.
Understandable. Having visited, I can understand it's not always the
And I will
easiest to
say,
find
you
stuff.
guys getting this is actually going to be dependent on an investigation check from Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured this wasn't a guaranteed, and
It's nice that the NPC can't find her own shit, just like me.
I mean, she doesn't have kids trying to hide the stuff either, though.
I don't
No,
either, but I
she's
still
not a
don't know
hoard-
where shit
she's
is.
a hoarder, though.
Oh, you mean the real you, not Gifted.
No, Gifton doesn't have that problem. She has because she's little. Most of their stuff is little.
Yeah. When was the last time you tried to contact my father?
She actually looks down, and there is a momentary look of guilt on her face. I never did.
Even before I was around, or
Even before you were around.
was if it's not something I can know, I understand. But was there a reason?
Watching you age and die. Yeah, it seemed easy not to.
I'm gonna reach over and give her a hug. I understand.
So, at least now, I can be quite certain you're not going to die before me.
Yes.
She says that with a vague look of worry on her face, and she holds you a little tighter. Promise me that you won't.
I promise, Grandma. Also, I'm sorry for the surprise that finding me where I was previously probably caused you.
Does it sound strange to say that I'm getting used to it?
I will be honest, having them mention that they had contacted you at one point about training them all was interesting but slightly surprising.
He shakes her head and goes, I spent a long time chasing after means to end my life. I love living. I truly do. And they seem to misinterpret my adventures as, wanting to continue to exist.
You're fading
Different.
out a little bit.
Okay, I was about to ask that, but I didn't want to interrupt.
She just says, I spent a long time looking for ways to extend my life. I love being alive. But they seem to interpret their hearing of my adventures as me seeking means to just continue existing. There's a difference. What they are, not what I want.
Understandable. They are very, very nice people that we have met there.
One I corresponded with was polite enough.
Was that Valda?
Yes, that would be it.
Valda is a very, very interesting person. I think the group of us have have them researching things they never expected to ever think of, between what we've done and things we have learned.
Do you have them researching small screeching ear creatures?
I am worried if they figure out if they make one of them undead, that the world is not prepared for that.
There's
As
this
much as
sound upstairs of claws like tearing across wood.
as much as I love the little ones, I am not going to be reenacting the play of them that I have seen.
Just an eyebrow quirk.
It had to do with 1,000 of them.
No.
Yes, no.
One thing dragons are scared of. Phoenix.
No. See, dragons aren't scared of Phoenix. They just have choice of there are better sounds than 1,000 Phoenix in a room.
Well, now that I'm not beset by tiredness just from visiting you, how about I stay for a little bit?
I believe
If that's okay with Talia as well?
I don't believe she will have an argument.
You always must ask.
Yes, I'm going to send, because I have a daily sending spell.
Please stop making emotions to do that. She's just going to smack you and go, you ask her in person. And she's going to stand up, offer out her arm.
I will take Grandma's arm and I will...
She's going to beat some manners into you.
I was trying to make it
non-magical manners.
Grandma didn't have to leave, or anything. But I will take Grandma to the tavern, and we will.
Efficiency is not always the best course.
You can spend a nice day with your grandma. Talia will agree. She'll just be thankful for somebody to lend a hand.
And I have two to give them the gang up on me.
Bouncer.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, just wait until all three of them end up in the room together.
Nice.
Because Grandma, Mom, and Talia all together. Carrick will know true fear at that moment.
Shaxton.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, someone was going to see Shaxton, weren't they?
I was.
Yes. Okay, we'll do that first. Jackson, you're actually settling back into work, picking up your quill once more, trying to find the spot that you were at, and just as you find it, Cass is led down into the lab by guard.
Clop, clop, click, clop.
Yeah, Fowler looks over and just waves at you, Cassiope. Greetings, Miss Steelshod.
Jackson won't even have looked up, and they've just gone to look at
Lady Velda. What was that?
I was saying that Jackson wouldn't have even looked up for missing. He was just waiting and I'm going, hello, Cassiopeia.
Hello.
He's well versed in horse.
Hey. Anyways.
What can we do for you?
I need help. In more ways than one. But I need a set of sending stones with a fairly decent range that can survive incredible pressures and being submerged.
Well, given there are magic rocks that have the sending spell inscribed on their ranges, as long as they're on the same plane of existence.
So you're looking for other planar sending? That's very tricky.
No. This sending stone is going to get attached to a big steel plate and it's going to be dropped into a trench near Zaha.
You're going to bury a sending stone on a plate?
It's going underwater. Deep underwater.
Oh.
There's apparently a giant civilization way down at the bottom where apparently they may have my father.
What kind of depths are we talking?
I've been told 5 miles.
On which coast?
The Zahan coast.
No. What side of Sahar, my dear?
I forgot to ask.
Nearest settlement.
I think Salmajid.
Salmajid.
Or at least that's where I'm going to try and direct them to.
Okay, that would put it on the eastern coast. You're dealing with the Illithid, dear.
The who?
The Illithid.
What?
I don't
You're
know.
not there.
All the only thing I know about them is that
5 miles
this
underwater. That
have
after
some very serious anti-angel warding. And that's about as far as I know, aside from the fact that my father was probably dragged down there by a Leviathan.
Shaxton, are you trying to do an Arcana check on a Illithid?
Yeah.
Not much comes up Arcana wise. You can try a history check if you so please.
Okay.
Essentially boogeymen. They pop up a couple of times in Pex and Rack's stories, even in a couple of reports, but they're the sort of reports that are dismissed by their superiors. Essentially strange tentacle-faced boogeymen that steal people away into the ocean, never to be seen again. They are given credit for a couple of missing ships, which turn up with like a couple of survivors out of a crew of 50 odd people, ranting and raving like lunatics. But they're generally not believed to be real.
Jax will be sitting there with this, like having put the pen back down and turn around going, I told you the other thing was not real, but given the things that we exist around nowadays, I can make an assumption that is not true.
Oh, they're quite real. Very reclusive.
I assume?
Once. We had a minor diplomatic incident between us and them, and, well, they cut off all contact. I think we were one of the few contacts left in the, surface world.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the diplomatic incident, if it won't cause you any trouble?
They killed quite permanently and harvested one of the people that we were quite interested in joining us, a man who was seeking his own means to exist beyond death. He sought them out in his path to do so. We reached out, told them that, well, our claim on him, that's a rough way to put it, but essentially that is it. And they cared not. We almost came to blows over it.
Oh, that's what. And what do you mean by harvest?
I assume what you mean by harvest of most any other creature you're saying that word about.
They are quite fond of intellect. They devour it.
Well, then I think I'm quite safe from them.
They also use bodies of other creatures to cultivate their young.
Cass has gone from making quips at her own expense to deathly serious.
Passes a lot of body.
So I should expect no positive returns on this.
I wouldn't say that. They are immensely intelligent creatures. Arrogant, but they can be reasoned with like any other thing. It is just difficult.
Well, I know a little bit about that. And here I thought this might actually be easy.
Nothing we encounter is that easy anymore.
No. Well, Valda, I thank you for that information. How did you, by chance, communicate with them?
Oh, we used to visit them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, aside from the fact that all of you being undead and probably being able to handle going for a swim down there.
Oh, very few of us could handle those depths. The spirits are pretty much the only ones that can manage it. But they used to have a teleportation circle. We were entrusted with the rune thread, but either they changed it or used some other means to block our access.
I would not be surprised at changing.
Yeah.
Keep it in access, but keep it away. Once I change the locks to a house.
You wouldn't by happen to have like a vague map of their city?
And, no, guided tours were rather limited.
Okay. Well, I most certainly don't want for the situation that the backup plan to go into effect. I'd rather deal with this entirely peacefully.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
We need to have to dismantle another nation in our quest to get things done.
Oh no, I'm more concerned about the archangels more than anything else. I don't want anyone further getting hurt for the time being.
How did they come by to possess your father?
There was an attack during the height of Scrim's rampage around Barast. He managed to get a Leviathan to attack the town of Sidur, and it ripped an airship out of the sky, killing most of my family, stranding my brother and a few on a desert island. And apparently he was still with the thing when it made its way back to their domain.
So it's their Leviathan.
Maybe.
That Scrim had.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to go talk to Scrim and see how he got in contact, but
Yes, I would assume that he has a method then.
oh, this is getting more unfortunate. Yeah. But Jackson, can you make me a pair of sending stones just in case?
You know that any sending stone would be able to fit your method for that, yes?
And here, 1 second. She reaches into her bag of holding. She starts pulling out journals, looks at the sort of titling one, shakes her head, puts it back, has to sort through a few before she opens one up, starts flicking through it, and looks like an observation journal, just notes on day-to-day affairs, interesting things. And then she opens it up, and there is a sort of ink drawing of a strange creature. It's wearing robes that are down, the hood down. There is a tentacly face, strange hands that quite match the rest of its visage. Notably, its stance seems to have it floating. But yeah, she holds it up and goes, "This is them."
Does it at all look familiar?
You only caught brief glimpses, but yeah.
When did we see an illithid?
How long ago?
Isn't that a Heian creature?
Oh, no. There's no resemblance to a Heian creature. But you guys caught glimpses of this under a robe.
Yeah, delivering.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And get access about that one because I was RG at that point.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know who all.
My mind slipped that one. Oh, I think we've had dealings with them.
Oh, yeah.
That's when you took the Ori from RG.
Okay, so this entire thing gets a little bit deeper.
You've had dealings with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago at this point.
Stupid.
Have you thought about asking Raziel about it?
Devices.
Oh, that's another kettle of fish. Okay, I gotta go talk to Scrim and then hit up Raziel for more information.
Probably for the best.
Oh.
And like I said, if you pick up any mark its little sending stone. This should be more than sufficient for the use you want of it.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Shakta. Thank you, Lady Valda. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Though, and I don't know what the status of you guys, of all of your city and your citizenry, and you as well, being able to come into Beacon. But if you ever do, feel free to stop by the library. Your presence would be. We would love to have your presence grace my tiny facility.
It'd be my pleasure to. Though she's quite busy, says the metallic draconoid figure, still working, who actually looks over at the group of you, seemingly with a little bit of annoyance. But yes, I am quite busy, so in future.
Yes. But thank you both. I wave at the metallic draconid thing as I leave. You have a good day.
It's okay, lingers on you for a few more seconds before returning to its work.
All right, I guess I'm going to go visit Scrim.
Okay. Right, you head off to find the Goliath encampment again. As you do. Jackson. Cassiopeia leaves, and Felder just gives you a bemused look. He's giving a sort of sidelong glance over her shoulder towards the mental. Touchy,
It is what it is. She's very wanting to get this done so we can move on with the steps.
Yes, and she moves back over to the mental, and you're able to sort of return looking to your work, and it's that happenstance of having had time away from it, not having it the focus, lets it digest in your mind a bit, that as you start returning to your notage, that rune there has shown up in some of the mental equations that you've seen. And this is a direction rune. And you start going through things, and you quickly realize, oh yeah, you could easily set up a control method from a singular stone for the rest of them, not just for a quick, brutal shunt off or misdirect as such, but for actual proper wide control over the network, dampening it, directing it elsewhere. You'd essentially need to create a magical virus as such. Simple tweaking of a stone-shaped spell to carry it through the network. Basically describing itself onto linked runes that then can pass a rune on forward. But you do see a method to basically getting this all under one button, essentially.
Jax will actually quickly look at it and start hurriedly writing out as much as he can, and then he'll actually turn to go, "Oh, Valda, could you take a look at this to see if you see any faults in my equations for it?"
Valda comes on over, but you hear a little from Elemental.
In my defense, it might be helpful with what you were working on.
I'm so certain it is. And Valda comes on over and starts looking it over. Oh, well, my. This looks sound to me.
I think it is viable.
I'm sure Giston will be ecstatic about this.
And if we can get near it, we can shunt as much as we can safely into it, but we can also redirect some of it, assumedly, to the creation of the Gestalt.
Yes. Well,
most of it is we need to remove that energy, and I'm under no illusions that all of it can go safely directly back into the Feywild.
It would be remiss of me not to mention, though, that with this kind of control, you could do a very powerful strike with this. If you constructed the focusing lens to link into this, best not publicize this.
I do not intend to. I would rather not see more work turn into be a terrifying weapon.
Keep at it.
It would only get one use, but that use would be catastrophic.
Yes. Double check your math. Make sure it all checks out.
I'd rather not see it backfire on that respect, no matter which option it becomes.
Perhaps we can find a way to shut off just a few of the stones and create a small localized test grid.
Well, luckily we do have this as a good starting point for being able to input. And you'll gesture over the one that
The inactive one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She nods and goes,
You're kind of blessed that they left this for us. Well, that we stole it from them.
yes. Well, progress, at the very least. And she nods at you as she gets up and moves back over to the mental. And yeah, you go about double checking your equations. Gifton. Oh. Gifton dead.
Yep, sorry.
Gifton. You arrive in the Fomerian Park with Dadriel and Oberon. Oberon looks very tense, and you can actually feel the grip on his hand. It's not for comfort, it's just his entire body has gone.
I stiffen my grip on his, and you alright?
He looks momentarily taken back when you ask him that, before he quickly lets go of your hand and Dadriel's, and just...
I look over Dadriel, you alright?
I am well enough.
Oh, I'm a mess. I don't know how the two of you handle this.
Dingus is actually chucking up on Dadriel's shoulder.
Oh, Dinky!
Maybe.
I know, Dinky. We're not made of the same stuff as them. We can't keep up with this.
Dadriel seems unbothered by this. He just reaches up and pets Dingus confidently. Go back to your mother. And he hands you over. Dingus.
What are you talking about, mother?
Get back to Barfy boy.
He's already saying mummy.
Oh, well, okay, that's fine. Fine then.
Gives aside. It's not the same though.
All right. Well, this way to Morris, if everyone's fine.
Yes, that's Dadriel nods as Oberon sort of like folds his arms up into his sleeves, and we'll follow you along. Okay, you are able to enter Morris's forest, and move into the actual Feywild.
Oh, that feels so much better.
Once in there, Oberon's looking about, gazing up at the sky, and there is a look of mild horror on his face.
It's awful, isn't it?
It is monstrous.
The people of Faramir, the city that this is, they managed to build something to hold back what the people of Hexenreich were doing. That's the only reason this still exists, even. But they did hold it back from happening for Morris and the Fae that were here with Morris.
I will have to give them my thanks.
They're trying to help me figure out how to break down the nasty things that do this to the Feywild.
You see his eyes flicker about, gazing upon the borders here, and he reaches out, a hand closing his eyes briefly. I can feel them intruding into this realm.
Yeah, they're trying to hold it back, but they're trying to find a way to break them safely.
His hand squeezes slightly. Shaxton.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sudden glow from the pylon in here, and alarms start going off in the lab. Fowler looks over at it in alarm. And the mental looks mildly concerned as well.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just asking over, is there anything I could do on this anymore?
Get out of the room, maybe? I mean, that's the only thing that is sensibly in your mind. Back down in the Feywild, Oberon relaxes his grip and goes, could break them. But you say safety is the measure here.
You say that bit again, Night of Dog Bark.
He goes, I could break them. But you say safety is the measure here.
Yeah, it might hurt the people that have been trying to help if we do it too quickly. And they're not sure what it would do to the Fae here.
He lowers his hand entirely, back up in the mortal realm. The obelisk stops glowing. The alarm's still going because, oh shit. Do you still want to leave the room, Shaxton, or do you want to actually try and investigate it now?
He's going to actually investigate, but he's going to, in the process, be actually activating, so he's got the full helmet of the armor on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually properly covered. He's doing the quick bit of spell work to get extra defenses on, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Falda seems to be casting a bunch of wards on herself. The mental looks relatively unconcerned, and both of them are joining you in this examination. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage. Okay. Using a few of the measuring tools and such in the lab, you're able to quickly ascertain that there was a surge of power from another place in this grid that even with this one inactive, it was essentially leaching over, flowing into this obelisk. It was essentially receiving power with nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
In the Feywild, Oberon looks at you, Gifton, and goes, well, where is this Morris?
Morris! Typical thing. Start yelling.
Morris! You can walk through the Morris's domain for a little bit, yelling out for him. Dadriel yells out as well. Oberon does not.
Morris, I brought you a visitor. They're very important.
After a moment, you've come up into a field, and the grass here is about knee high. You know, nicely swaying in a sort of breeze here. And you see Morris just sit up from the grass, having been invisible, laying down in it. And he's
Are you hiding from me?
No, just laying down.
Pretending to be dead.
I was wondering how far I could sink into the earth just by laying there.
And?
Not very far so far.
Oh. Well, maybe if you weighed more.
If I weighed more and came from a greater height.
Yeah. Really high up.
Oberon clears his throat.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Lord Morris. Of course you know Lord Oberon?
No? Wait.
You don't know Lord Oberon?
I've never met my lord, my king. King. He's quickly bowing low. Please, Lord Morris, rise. Lord Morris very hesitantly looks up, slowly stands up straight. My lord, I wish I'd known that you were coming. I would have prepared for you a great feast. I would have prepared for you an entertainment. It's very little here for one of your greatness. I apologize. May do with me as you wish. And he bows down again. Oberon actually looks annoyed by this, and he glances over at you, Gifton.
Morris, stand up.
I am not worthy. I'm not even. I'm not. I'm a minor lord, even by just the Lord Morris. Stand with your head held high. You are lord of this domain. No other is. I am your
Stand tall,
guest.
Morris. You've earned it.
Morris stands up again, scratches his head nervously.
I was telling the great Lord Oberon about how your friends in Firm have been helping you.
Oh, yes, they have been a great help, my lord. Again, I am. It's a mark against me that I have needed their assistance, but their assistance I have had nonetheless. I think it is of great merit that you have survived in these conditions so long. Please, why don't you tell me about yourself, Lord Morris? And Oberon is actually going to just sit down in the grass and gesture for you and Dadriel and Morris to join him.
I'm going to sit down.
We have no need for entertainment nor a great feast when we have the company of friends. Right? Sure, my lord.
Bless his heart, he's trying.
It's all right. Morris, we're all family and friends. It'll be all right. Let's just talk.
And it starts very, very nervously and quite broken. But you are able to coax Morris to start talking. And Oberon's clearly not in his element here, but he's trying very hard to be a calm and welcoming presence.
Mm-hmm.
And it is notable effort to he's looking towards you and to a lesser extent Dadriel on how should I be behaving here, because he has a hard time not doing his courtly I am better than thou thing. So what I'd like is I would like either your persuasion or performance check.
I guess because we're trying to act like nice people, I will go with performance. Because my persuasion's nice, but my performance is better. I'll do that. That's not bad.
Yeah, okay. You make enough of a show, because this isn't just acting natural, this is follow my lead to an extent, that you are able to guide Oberon along on this. And as you do, I'd like you to make me an insight check, please.
Oh, wait. I have a thing for
Everything?
insight. I do have a thing for insight. I have the feat for insight, so I don't know if that helps. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna ignore the feat. I'm gonna burn one of my inspirations.
Okay.
That'll work. I will do this one because I don't care about my spell DC. So I'll just reroll that insight. I have a really good insight, and I rolled really bad.
Okay.
Wow, I rolled the lesser of worse there.
Well done.
I have a 19. I have a 19.
Well done, you rolled a 3.
I know.
Hey, it's still 22 though, so
yeah, but it's awful.
It's watching Oberon badly act his way through that. Oh, hang on. This is an act. The deliberate awkwardness is in itself putting Morris at ease as he sees this great Fey Lord being out of his element, uncomfortable, and trying so hard to be on his level.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone had come in here being perfectly engaging and suave, it's likely a lesser Fey Lord would find that alarming. What is he after? What is he doing? They aren't naturally helpful to each other.
Mm-mm. I am going to do something slightly evil here because I have telepathy. I went to sometime during this send a telepathic message to over on you're amazingly good at this. And just continue on.
You see the corner of his mouth lift up in a smile directed only towards you, as he continues engaging with Morris. Right. Okay. We are going to go to what we are going
to know that I almost killed Shaxan.
Right. 1 second while I check.
You could refrain from that in the future. I'd be most appreciative. I
also appreciate that while the alarm of all that was going off, apparently an alarm went off and my dog shrieked out. So I was just on my side.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, so Cassie.
Yes.
You wanted to reach out to Scrim and or Raziel, right?
Yes.
Okay, any preference in order?
Well, Scrim's closer, more than likely.
So you head to Scrim's little enclave, which is now basically packed up. They are ready to leave. And they have, in fact, like, slightly overstayed their welcome, but it's not in the sort of sense of you have to leave. It's just like, didn't expect you to be here this long. But they seem to have gotten along very well with the guards assigned to them. The Fomorians actually helping move some things. And as you walk into the camp, you can see Scrim chatting with a wraith who looks like they might be in charge of the local contingent here. As you approach, they both give you acknowledging nods. The wraith actually hailing you. Oh, Lady Stillshod.
Hello.
Have you come to lend the Goliaths an aid in their moving?
I can, but I have some questions I have to ask Scrim first.
Then I shall leave you both to it. It was a pleasure talking with you, Hayerson. And the Scrim just nods politely to the wraith, who heads off. And then he reaches out and casts your shoulder, Cassie. It's still a shot.
Okay, Scrim, first things first, I'm going to give you a fair warning. Avoid stepping foot into Beacon for the time being.
No? They may no longer welcome on Barassian soil.
Not so much that, as family members have sworn to end your life.
And most of your family dead.
Yes, but my brother and my other mother are still alive.
And they want to be dead.
Yeah, because they were both on the airship that the Leviathan brought down. Or my brother was, my other mother was trapped in the sword I was
Oh, yes, the tortured angel.
Yes, and
understandable.
She is quite angry. Yeah, so avoid Beacon for the time being. I'm trying to calm that situation down. So if you want, you can visit Gifton if she invites you.
Let them know that. No, I don't apologize. We were in conflict, but the conflict is over.
I would not ask you to apologize. I understand that things happen in war, even if we don't like it.
No. Give them my sorrow.
but there may be a way you can help lessen the hatred.
Hmm.
The Leviathan you used to attack the airship near Sidor.
Yes.
How did you get in contact with it, and by extension, its potential masters?
Oh, we did not get in contact with it. Its master. It came to us.
Oh?
Yes. Cloaked figure. Unnatural. I found kinship with it. He grins bitterly. It arrived at our camp. Came from the river. Offered us a great weapon in the coming war.
Okay.
I was suspicious of it. It asked nothing in return.
Oh. I have suspicions now. All right. Well, I was hoping you might have a way to contact them, but as you don't,
Oh,
that
I
is
have
as
way.
it is. What's that?
I have way.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Would you mind sharing that secret with me?
Yes. And he actually sort of leans in and does that motion with, his larger hand of coming close.
Cass will lean in, ear pointed towards him.
It taught us how to control it. We kept one of its young.
You still have its young.
He grins wide. Big creature now, even young.
Oh, this is getting worse by the moment.
We stole the runes they taught us. We know how to make it go. We know how to make it carry safely. That's no more war for Scrim, so could not bring it here.
No. I would not ask you to bring it here.
But if you need to go down, make contact, then we can show you a place we met often.
I would appreciate that because I'm going to be starting my attempts to contact them.
Then you must come to our land and join us in feast, and I will take you on a little boat ride.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Okay. When would you like to meet? When would you want to have your feast?
Give me 10 days.
10 days?
Must get settled back in.
Very well. I appreciate your help, Scrim. Hopefully this will help resolve the anger my family has towards you.
And if not,
potentially bring peace between our two families, because at this point, it's family. It's hatred of my family towards the hatred of your family.
and if it does not bring peace, then tell them that they are always welcome to come challenge me. That satisfies all vengeance, no?
When they're older and I'm dead.
That is not a brave way of it, Stillshot.
No, it isn't, but right now I'm protecting what I have left. I mean, I just got them out of prison, so.
Well, help us carry things.
What do you need carried?
Yeah, you can take those boxes.
And Cass will walk over and heft boxes.
Okay, alright.
Where do you want them?
We are going to teleport circle.
Right.
traveling through Beacon, will this be a problem?
You're traveling through Beacon?
Yes. We had hoped for a shorter
character
journey
teleports.
home.
Out of character, the teleport circle is literally in Beacon.
Yeah, I know. I will go deal with my family.
I could literally teleport him right where he wants to go.
Sending Stone to Shax. Shax, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. What is the problem?
We have a potential flare spot in Beacon. Is Gifton available?
I think she mentioned she was going to be involved in something. Is there
I haven't
anyone else
said
to do?
I haven't said shit.
Yeah. So I will see if she's available, and Jax will attempt to come.
Yeah,
Or
which obviously does not work.
Mhm.
Which at this point, yeah, you know she's probably off plane.
Okay.
And Jax will med doing. I think she's off the plane currently. I cannot get in contact with her.
Oh no, she's in the Fae, isn't she? If she's off
You
the
don't know.
plane. Either that or she's in the vault. Why would she be in the vault?
Or I could be in Ellen Tevin. I can be anywhere. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
She could even be in hell visiting the one person.
Yeah, which by the way, Carrick, you're getting lectured on like she's getting used to seeing you in places, but if she catches you in the Seven Hells, you're going to be in trouble.
I hope to never have to go there, ever.
Scrim, when were you planning on teleporting over?
When we have moved all of these boxes.
Great.
Today.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
It's not like there's a really fast angel you can't grab.
I mean, there's also, I will point out the fact that they don't know what Scrim actually looks like.
Oh, Michael
Yeah, they
does.
really don't. Oh yeah, Michael will.
Michael will.
Yeah, but that would require her to see him, and there's a bunch of Goliaths going through.
Yeah, just put a robe over Scrim.
Grab the
Toss the rug over.
tablecloth.
It'll be
Put
fine.
him in a
Grab it.
box.
Put a robe over Scrim, and then on top of the robe, put Taldi, and then they'll think it's just 5 kobolds in a robe.
I like that idea. We just have the 5 kobolds in a robe anyways.
Yeah.
Raziel would be bad for the situation.
Let your brother and mother try and kill me. Do not care. I am going home.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out a way to get them out of town while you're traveling through.
Tell them, come, we are going to another place.
Grab sword, run with sword. Mom has to run after you, telling you not to run with sharp objects.
Is there a place in larger city you like?
Take them to the bakery in Winden.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take them to. I think I'm going to take them baked goods shopping. So, have a safe trip. I'm going to try and ensure that you make it through Beacon in one piece.
Then, yes, hurry ahead and make sure path is safe for poor old Scrim.
Oh no! At this point, I'm protecting the town of Beacon more than anything. Because you are a force of nature, and those two are an unstoppable force.
I could stop them.
Object, irresistible force. That town will not survive. My library already has scores.
No, I am not immovable object. I am fast, swift.
Okay, you're irresistible force, and they're a stubborn, immovable object.
No, I could move them.
if Vesper is a
That's why I don't want you two
Why
meeting.
you are?
Why is it that Scrim and my kids talk the same?
I'm getting a kick out of if there's suddenly a fight out in Beacon. There's 3 dragons in Beacon right now. That probably won't.
That's another
Sick.
situation.
You,
I know
you,
there's
you
a
know
dragon.
how in Kung Fu films there's always the hidden masters all in the same village?
Yeah.
It's basically Beacon.
Yeah.
This is literally fucking
Kung Fu.
Alpha,
Yeah, yeah.
Just everyone in town's a martial arts master.
I also like to think that because Scrim said that he can stop by any time, he's been basically just having his people haul boxes through the door to my house.
Like that idea too.
All right. Well, I will talk to you later, Scrim. You have a good day.
Just take boxes as you run.
Or am I? I'll drop these off at the teleport circle.
Yes.
Thank you for your aid, Scrim.
Thank you
And
for
I will
yours.
I will see you in 10 days. Maybe.
Maybe.
No, maybe. Yes.
Fine. See you in 10 days.
Good.
I mean, aren't you helping him call boxes?
I'm taking his boxes to the teleport circle.
Okay, cool. You leave those there. And then I assume you go to the doorway and go back from Clifton's kitchen.
Yep. And then I'm going to take
We got
Michael and S-
one of those welcome mats that's right in front of that door, by the way. Because we're just trying to keep the dirt from getting trapped in the kitchen so much.
I like to think every time that door gets opened, it's like a struggle to stop the pseudo dragons from rushing into the food room. Okay, so
Right. So I'm going through. I'm going back. I'm tracking down Michael and Cirrus.
Mhm.
And we're going on a day trip to Wyndon.
okay, Michael feels like this is a pointless endeavor, but Sirius is like, yeah, sure, why not? That'll be fun. Unless you
This is not
go,
a pointless what's that?
unless you go.
Yep. I'm going to stop by Grumps to get a pair of sending stones.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to go check in on Millie because I haven't been able to get to check in on Millie and see how her date went.
Okay, Millie is very very happy to see you again. She then does ask, which date?
That was like 2 years
the
ago at
party?
this point. Almost. Oh, actually a year ago.
No?
I was
No,
just
not even
saying,
that.
that long.
Maybe a
Okay.
month. The date between her and Saint Pierre.
Oh, Pierre, very very lovely date. I spoiled me rotten, but it's a bit much.
Oh.
Like, it's just a lot.
Carrick's on the other
There's a lot to unpack with that one.
part of the continent, just nodding at the suddenly sense of.
Don't think there was a word of quiet the entire night. Just a moment of silence.
That sounds about right for him.
Even when we
I've
were
only
having
met-
sex, he was quoting things.
I met him twice, and I think that's what I remember of him.
Still, have met him a couple of other times since, because, well, he knows how to make the best part of the night right. But, it's just friendly.
And other dates? Who are they? Or was it just Pierre?
It's not just Pierre. I've been on other dates. Just not anyone I think you know.
Also, I appreciate that you're doing this in front of your brother, who she's also openly flirted with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, yeah, she looks over at Circe and goes, I'm always open for other dates. He smiles very politely. But yes, you are able to catch up with Millie, get some baked goods from her. She will gossip about her dates if you want, and it is just random people you've not fucking heard of. But she's more than happy to spill the beans on what she's done.
Yeah, I'm dragging this out as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Okay.
And the prince.
And then I'm going to go visit Father Ted.
Okay. Yeah, you could go visit Father Ted. Is there any reason in particular, or just pleasantries?
Yes, to learn how to raise a fawn.
Father Ted will scratch his head and go, I've never raised a fawn myself.
Okay.
There's a long, dark look on his face as his eyes go a bit vacant.
Keep them.
My encounters with deer have not been great.
I understand that.
Still, I am sure I might have some scripture on animal care, or you could try the local library. They probably have some extensive
Wait,
work.
is the Winden Libraries back up and running?
Oh yes, it's reopened. I mean, they've closed off an entire section of it, but
Yeah, we did return Lady Gentle, so. And it didn't completely burn down.
Well, it was horribly mangled. So.
Oh, on one of the floors, but it was like a 4-floor building, so.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out because I don't know if my library has any material on it.
you could probably buy a book on it as well, I'm sure. You could even donate such a book to your friendly local Illen church.
After you got it.
He smiles at you.
If I can find one, I will.
Oh, with pleading eyes.
Good girl. Well, listen, if you do struggle with it, though, do come to me. I mean, I'm not an expert on fawns in particular, but I am, of course, versed in some animal care, so I would be willing to lend some assistance.
There are quite a few people I can think who can help as well. But I'd rather start with you because I know you far better and I trust you far more.
I'm quite flattered to hear that.
And Cass isn't going to mention that she absolutely does not want to go into the Feywild. Her in that river. Her in that river.
You coward.
Hug the river.
Perhaps
Could open the other one.
I can offer another kind of aid. And he sort of reaches out a hand towards you and goes, if I may.
I'll shake his hand.
No, you silly girl. And he lets you finish the handshake before he sort of like places his hand on your shoulder. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, Wildfather, please lend your touch to this daft girl's hand so that she may care for those that she encounters, so that she may nurture and raise those wild left without the care of their own. And then he leaves, removes his hand from your shoulder and just gives you a look of, that's what I meant.
Daft girl.
I like to think that Cassie's brother is just sitting there just chuckling up a storm.
He's got that also smug grin of like, you fucked up.
This is great. I'm glad we went on this trip.
Just remember, Cass knows the blessings of hate. She could play that game straight back if she wanted.
Yeah, that's right. Go ahead and throw the blessing of an unrecognized god at him. That's a good play.
I hope that helps you some.
I hope so too. Most likely it will.
Keep it in your heart, and I'm sure you do the form right.
A life for a life, and I shall care for that fawn.
And if not, you can always eat it.
Nope. That is one person I don't want to piss off.
Well, in that case, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Father Ted. I do appreciate it.
And as you leave Father Ted, that is where we're going to end this week's session. Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh
Sorry I
no!
drug that out, people. I apologize.
Fine.
All right. Everyone take a nice 3,000 experience points.
I
And
want to fight Illith that's underwater. That's fun.
Yeah.
you know, if you go that way.
Yeah, I mean, we might not even have to fight. Maybe they could be, very.
Personable
Lucky.
people.
I mean,
you.
they're able to be dealt with.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
I
dealt with
tell you,
them
there's at least one person.
unrecognizable.
There's one person that's probably dealt with them that didn't get talked to, because clearly Raziel's the one that sent them.
I mean, I did mention the thing. Raziel's not a bad option.
Raziel's the
Oh.
best option. He's clearly the one that sent that to Scrim. Everything that fell into Scrim's lap wasn't Scrim's doing.
Right, we will do this same time
and
next
piety?
week. Oh yes, one of your usual piety.
Next week I will not be around.
Okay,
Oh.
I will account for that.
Sorry.
No worries.
Oh
It's
no,
okay.
Corvus has been murdered in his murder basement.
Corvus will be busy with Echo refusing to do things with the party because he's just not interested.
Corvus is doing a demonstration of what you don't do with the super glue setting, and is going to glue himself and her in the basement.
He's trying to
Oh
fix
my.
Hadwin's mask and get rid of all the color that he's convinced is there.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say I'm like 5 piety away from topping out on Fey piety. I'm so excited.
Oh my god.
I'm
I know.
12 away.